On the Hochanda shows, we'll share with you the diverse techniques and products will inspire you to produce your own individual pieces of artwork. So make sure you don't miss the studio light shows on Hochanda.
Hello, my name's Kay from Indigo Blue, and we've been established for 7 years, and together with my husband Alfie we design and manufacture our own in-house red rubber stamps. We also have our own range of paints, lushes and stencils. We're so proud that we've now got a reputation for such high quality products and the detail that we can manage to get in our stamps. What I really love about Hochanda is I get to demonstrate lots of different techniques for you to understand how to use our products and hopefully inspire you. I've got loads of fantastic ideas buzzing around in my head, so I can't wait to get those filtered into our products and out to you at home. So grab a cup of tea, join me and the team from Indigo Blue on Hochanda.
Hello, my name's Catherine Sturrock and I bring to Hochanda my company Character Crafts. Character Crafts brings to you our laser cut designs. Each design is designed by myself. We cut them on the laser machines here in Doncaster and bring the products to you at home. Character Crafts is suitable for all ages and all abilities, so I hope that I can inspire you and help you along with your crafting. I like to show you how to use different paint techniques and different techniques to bring the characters alive, and use various mediums to decorate, and I also use air dry clay for decorating with the flowers. So make sure you look out for the Character Craft shows on Hochanda. I hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Katrina from Rowan. We're a small family business that design embroidery kits. Embroidery has always been my passion, and I'd love to show you how to do some of the stitches and some of the kits. We're based in Derbyshire, and I'm really inspired by the landscape and flora of Derbyshire, and I think other people will be too. Our kits are really easy, and I hope they inspire you to have a go at stitching. Since we've been on Hochanda, we've had a great time. Everybody's been really friendly and really good. We've met loads of people all around the country who watch Hochanda and find it really inspiring. Don't forget to join me on my Reindeer shows on Hochanda.
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi order? When you place an item on Flexi Buy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi order, which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your Flexi Buy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping baskets, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi Order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly Flexi Buy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi Order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Hello, good morning, happy Sunday. Nice to be back. Now, we have got the lovely Gail. She is here in the studio. She's going to be doing for us.
Morning.
Hi, Gail.
Morning. Morning.
You bright and breezy?
I am. Just about.
We still need more coffee, that's what we need. So there's the lovely Gail, and Sue is also with us here. There you go. Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
Basically, Sue and I are going to be chatting about the lovely goodies that we've got on the show for you, and then obviously we'll see the demonstration. So, Sue, this is a real back by popular demand, isn't it, with these?
It is. They are always popular. We've featured them. In fact, we haven't featured them since last year.
Yeah.
So they have been haven't been flouting for a little while, but they're always popular because I think they're really quite versatile and a fun project to make. And also, you know, you can get other family members involved in them as well because they're little pyramids.
Yeah, they're so cute.
And then inside you can hide a little treat. So the idea was you can make 24.
Yes.
Have them as a little advent on an advent tree like you were displaying there. They come in 3 different sizes. So
yes.
You're holding the medium size one there, Alex,
Indeed.
which is again quite a good space for a good treat, or 10.
I agree.
In there. The little teeny one, that's the one you're now holding. That again would just take a smaller treat. And then Gail did design the big one for ideally for Christmas Day, but again the pattern in there is for all 3 sizes. So if you wanted to carry on and make 6 or 12 of them, you know, it's up to you entirely how you want to, you know, arrange your advent boxes.
Amazing. And like this is like an exploding box. Right, you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! And then inside again. And then there's a little sweet treat, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's really lovely. They really are very versatile. And what a lot of people did last year as well was rather than necessarily have them as advent boxes on a tree, they put them on the Christmas table so you could then, you know, have them as a nice little treat and things like that. So, yeah, they are just very, very versatile. We've just done it this time with the pattern and the pelmet violin, which is the stiffener that you see there, Alex. And I've put a metre of that in, so there's plenty there to make lots of boxes.
Oh, that's good.
Which is really nice. And then again, the nice thing with that is it's pliable, but it's strong and holds its shape and its form.
Absolutely.
So it's a really good product for using that. I mean, people have said to me in the past, can you use card? But you are sewing through and around it, so it's much more versatile and easy to use, the pelmet violin. So I've included that, but the little numbered buttons that you probably saw on each of the boxes are there. If people do want those, they can check them out. They'll be picked up on the end of the order.
End of call. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then there you go. You can see you have got your fabulous templates for you there. So that is, and that's so reasonable as well. $11.99.
Just gets you going.
It's good. It's good. $11.99 then, and your item number is 752013. Now, this one is a brand new today, isn't it?
It is absolutely first time out on air today.
Lovely. So this is your fabulous Reindeer Redwork. We love the Redwork. There's something, I don't know, it's so classy, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's such a timeless thing, isn't it, to have, you know, Redwork. And I think, you know, when we were setting up the studio, because we've got other products on here, and I think if everything's red, then it obviously, you know, fits in with a theme, even if there's just slightly different reds. Yeah. Overall, I think just the effect looks really good. And Christmas is traditionally red, isn't it? So we do a lot of work. There's nothing to stop you, though, if you do want to work it in other colours. Don't feel compelled to have to work it in a single colour. We've had the panel pre-printed in a light grey. So again, the red covers the line perfectly, but if you did want to use other colours in there, again, it's quite versatile, so you can. So I've put the panel together with 3 skeins of thread, and also with the pattern as well there to complete the actual advent project. So it's a really nice one. If you get started now, you know, I thought if we put it on in October, you've got a good 6 weeks now till, you know, the beginning of December when it's required. And I stitched that panel out, and I actually really did enjoy doing it.
I bet.
Did all the numbers, and it was just nice to. What I love with Redwork is you can just sit in front of the telly at night. And just, you know, there's no palaver. Often with patchwork, you know, I need this, and you've got, you know, you've got various little things that you need, haven't you, in order to complete a project. But with Redwork, literally, it's a skein of thread, your embroidery that you're working on, and your scissors, and that is it. It's easy.
And I'm a massive fan of, like, you know, hand stitching as well. So it's $19.99. Item number is 814298. Do have a look at Hochanda.com, because we're going to crack on with the demos now. For everything else, you can, of course, shop by brand. Thank you very much, Sue. You can shop by brand, so do go and have a look. Daisy chain designs. I mean, look at all of these fabulous 5-star reviews. Now, Gail and Sue have also got another show a little bit later on at 11 a.m. with different items, but of course you can have a nice sneaky peek as we're showing you on the website, as I said, at Hochanda.com. Right then, so I'm now going to pass over to you, Gail. What would you like to start with, Gail?
I'm going to start with
the Advent boxes because in the past these have been really popular, and it's something that I really enjoy doing myself. It's a lovely little project for on the go. So what you get in your pattern, as Alex and Sue have kindly told you, is the little tiny size here, and you can see it's held together with some ribbon. So I'm just going to open it up. You can see as I start to open it, the ribbon comes out from the loops. And the box unfolds, and then you can fill it with little chocolates, or you can put a little gift in there, anything you want. And if you just have a look at the outside, that's where the little buttons are placed on there. And you can get the additional extra of the 25 buttons if you would like. I mean, some people look at it and think, do you know what, I don't really want to sew 24, 25 of these. So that's when I think the medium size is really good.
Yeah.
The nice thing with the medium size is if you've got sewing friends, what I did is I got their favourite fabric and then stitched one out in their favourite fabric, and then you can actually fold a fat quarter of fabric to fit inside one of these boxes. Or maybe you could give them a nice skein of thread or something inside the box, and I think they would make really lovely Christmas crackers.
That's
you know, so
yeah.
So you know, if you've got time on your hands, it would be really nice. So I'm going to show you how you make these.
Cool.
So let's start with the templates. So in the pattern, like I say, you've got all 3 templates. Okay, and to get the construction of the little box, we use a product called Violin. And it's a really strong pelmet violin. So it's a really like hardy interfacing. So before I cut this out, I need to take my templates and prepare my templates. So in the pattern, you'll have all the paper templates. And what I ask you to do is to get a glue stick.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one it is. And then apply a liberal amount of glue all the way over the back of your paper. And then pop it onto your card. I tell you what works really well, cereal packets.
Oh, really?
So you don't need any sort of posh card.
Yeah.
But you can see the paper edge is still left there. Don't cut the triangle out completely and then stick it on. Leave the surrounding edge so that when that is glued on and you cut it out, you're not reducing the size of the triangle. So then you can see here's one that I've cut out. And then using your triangle template, you then want to cut your violin. Now I think a really good way of doing this is if you take your triangle and you lay it onto your violin, you can cut it into strips, and this way you're probably going to waste less violin.
Right.
So you pop your triangle on, and then you can just draw around there, and then if you turn it back this way, you can maximise your product then, so you get less waste. And something I want to just quickly share with you, when we post this stuff out, it comes initially on a roll, and then when we post it, we have to squash it. And the good thing with this product, one of the reasons I use it over using card, is if I just show you this part here, if I crunch it up with my hand, okay, and then I pop it down, when you put an iron on there, it all irons nice and smooth again, and then restores it back to how it was before. So I want to assure you that if you get your package and you think, oh, this is all creased, I'm not going to be able to use it, then don't worry. And a little bit of steam in the iron flattens it off nicely as well. So once you've done that and you've cut your triangles, you bring some in here, then you need to add your ribbon. So if we look at these, you're going to cut one for the base, 2 for the sides, and 1 with long tail. So we can add our ribbon, little tiny loops on 2 and long tails on the other. Now it depends what you want to do with them, where you want to hang them, to how long you put the ribbon on. But one thing to remember is, and it does state this in the pattern, when you stitch the loops onto the ends, don't make too big a loop. You just want it slightly bigger than the ribbon. Okay, so the ribbon can go through, but it's not gaping around.
Yeah.
Because if this loop is too big on the end, when you come to put your box together later, it'll all sort of flop around. So make sure that this loop is not too big. So once we've put our loops on, we then want to cover our triangles in some wadding. Now this is a great way, if you're a quilter, a great way of using up all those scraps of wadding. If you're not a quilter and you're new to this kind of thing, then don't worry. You could use something like some leftover fleece or a little bit of felt, anything really, just to give it that nice padded feel. And then I cut 2 triangles of that and just put a little dab of glue on there to hold it in place. So that's our triangles done. We're going to do that with all 4.
Yeah.
And now we're going to cover the triangles in fabric. So you'll have another template. I'm just going to use the smaller one for a second just to show you. It'll say fabric template on there. You lay your template onto your fabric and then you can take a pen or a pencil, draw around the circle and then cut it out. Or if you want to be speedy like I am, what I tend to do is I tend to pre-fold my fabric. So I've got 4 layers and then I can just pop my circle on, draw around there. I pop a pin in the middle of the fabric then, and then I cut through all 4 layers at the same time. It just, you know when you're starting, you want to make 24 of them, so you want to cut them out quickly.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. You can see where the residue is there. So I cut 4 at a time. So once I've cut my circles, get onto the next part. Using the larger ones again now. You can see this is my template, and it says cut 4 fabric circles. I then, with the needle and thread, I do a running stitch all the way around the outside. Now if I can just find my ends. So with the needle and thread, I start on the front of the fabric, stitch all the way around. Don't worry too much about how large your stitches, large or small your stitches are, but make sure you don't come in too far. You just want to come in about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Running stitch all the way around, and then you'll see in your pattern you've got another template which is called a press-in circle. You pop that in the centre of your fabric and then you grab hold of your ends and just pull.
Ah, look at that.
Okay, and as if by magic. And then that's what it does, is it gives you that really neat edge then and a perfect circle. Then I take this to the ironing board.
Yeah.
Okay, and I give it a little press, and then that holds it all neat in place. If you've got a willing partner, get them to put their finger there while you tie a knot in there. But if you haven't, don't worry, I have long threads, hold my hand out of the way, and by the time I've pressed it, it tends to sit where I need it. Once I've done that, here it is all pressed, and so this is the bit that scares some people. You need to take the card out. Okay, so don't worry, just pull on the fabric a little. If you bend the card slightly, it'll just pop out. And then you've got your lovely circle. And then what we do then is we take our template again. Okay, we pop it into the middle. I'd normally tie these ends off. Pop it into the middle of your fabric. And then I'm going to fold the fabric over once, twice, and then when I come to the bottom edge, I'm going to fold it up, okay, and then I'm just going to tuck the end in. Can you see? And then that gives me that lovely spiraled effect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that to the ironing board and I'm going to give it a really good press with the iron. And then once I've done that, it'll open back up. Right. This time it'll be pressed. And then I'm going to take one of my pieces that I covered earlier. You can see with the ribbon and that. I'm going to pop that into the middle and then refold the fabric back round there. Now yours will be pressed nicely, unlike mine. And then I'm going to pull the fabric over. Now it's at this point people worry a little bit. They say, oh, it doesn't quite fit. And I can see little bits of wadding sticking through and that. Don't worry about that. It's fabric. We're going to manipulate it when we stitch it. Now you've got 2 choices here. You can either put some pins in, or if you've got some of these neat little clips, you can pop the clips on and clip that in place. And then we're going to stitch it. And we're going to stitch it with a blind hemming stitch. So I'm just going to show you a couple of stitches, Alex, so that you know how to stitch it. Right, so I just take a needle and thread. So pop a knot in the end of your thread. Now I'm using a white thread. Normally I would use a coordinating thread, but I'm using white so you can see it a little bit better. And then I'm going to take the edge here and I'm just going to flip it back out of the way so that I can pop my knot in here and it can disappear.
Oh yeah, it's hidden then, yeah.
Okay, so then I haven't got to worry about the end. Then I'm going to pull the end back over. Now don't worry too much about this piece. Right, now take your thread, okay, and I'm going to take a chunk from the bottom. So this is the background part, and as I come up, I'm going to come up just through the front. You see, I'm just catching the front edge, and then I'm going back underneath, picking a chunk, and then just coming up through. And when I pull the stitch, can you see it sort of disappears, so you can't see anything at all?
Yeah, it looks really nice and neat.
Yeah, I always find it difficult sewing on TV.
Oh,
because
bless you. No, you do a fab job.
I'm one of the worst people. I sew on the end of my nose. I hold everything right up close to my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether I've got glasses on or not. It's nothing to do with my eyesight. I'm just happy when things are really close to my face.
No, I'm the same though.
So then when I've got to hold my face away from there, it's a little bit more of a struggle. So when you come to the end, you can see this little bit here where there's like a little gap in there. Don't worry, just push it together with your nails or the tip of a scissors and that. And trust me, when you do this the first time, so when I've taught this in the past, people worry and agonise about it all. Once they've done one, they're just away then and just enjoying themselves. And then you can pull the thread, pop your needle in and push it back a little way, pop it back out down here. Okay, and then we can just carry on and stitch around to the middle, and then I'll go out to the edge and then back through and back to the other edge. And I will do that with all 4 triangles. And then once I've done that, I'll bring another one in. We look here. We just look at these triangles. You can see here's my finished triangles. And I'll just bring the larger one in as well for you to see. You can see the spiraled effect there, and I've started to sew these together. So on the little one, I arrange them, again, like I showed earlier, the 2 loops, the one with the long tails, and then the plain one in the centre.
Right.
What I tend to do is I tend to decorate all my sides before I construct the box, because I just find it that little bit easier working with pieces like this. This is why it's good to use Vilene or interfacing rather than using card, because when I stitch these buttons on, I could stitch through to the back. If it was card, you wouldn't be able to get the needle through.
Yeah.
And also with these buttons and these embellishments, if time is not on your side, then there's no reason not to just glue them all on. Also, these look really lovely if you sparkle them up and you put some like little beading on there or some sequins. And again, I've mentioned this before, I know these are Christmas, but just think about them. They could be wedding favours. You could use them for birthdays if you did them in birthday fabric, you know, all manner of different things. So then finally, to pull the box together, I'm going to use a stitch called ladder stitch, and I'm sure lots of people are familiar with it, but if I just open that up there, I'm not sure. Let me put a piece of paper underneath there. Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
It sort of looks like a ladder, and that's where the name comes from. You could whip stitch it if you don't like doing ladder stitch and that. So you can see I've got the needle and thread in here. And I'm going to travel now from this side of the box to the other side of the box, level with the, so if I pull the thread across, I'm aiming to go over here. I'm going to pop the needle in, and I'm travelling sideways. Okay, I'm just going to try to make this as clear as, I'm travelling sideways, like so.
Yeah, you can
I'm
really see that.
all fingers and thumbs, trying to show you how
No,
it's
we can see that. It's all
done.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So,
good.
and then the beauty of the ladder stitch, I'm coming back this side, so I'm going to take a little chunk of fabric from here and then travel across again and pull the needle out. Okay, and if you look at this now, as I pull it, just get the needle out of the way. As I pull the thread, the stitches will all come together and disappear, and then that gives me a lovely edge where you can't see any of the stitches and gives a really nice hinge effect. You can see it better on this side, so you don't see any of the stitches, and then it enables the box to close beautifully.
Yeah, wonderful and neat.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Gail.
You're very welcome.
Lovely stuff. Right then, I will just do a quick recap and then we can see some other things as well that we've got on the show. So the pyramid boxes then, now we are half the stock already gone, and you can, if you want to, you can make your lovely little diddy ones, or your medium ones, or you can make a nice big one. And like I said, it's almost like an exploding box in there. That's so cool, isn't it? So you choose your lovely fabrics, and as Gail said, you know, it does not have to be Christmas, it could be even Easter, something like that. And what a nice way to give a gift. So instead of paper, you know, you're making lovely fabric gifts. How lovely is that? And then you can, obviously, they get to keep the lovely gift. So what you're getting then is you're getting your violin, a nice big piece. It's got that really, really good rigidity to it, but again, like Sue and Gail have been saying, you know, you can still sew through. And then you've also got your fabulous templates there, and your instructions. And it is just £11.99. You're getting a metre of your lovely violin. Okay, we're now 2/3 of the stock gone. This is flying out the door. Item number is 752013. And then we've got our new today, which is our fabulous reindeer in Redwork. Well, what you've got, of course, are the 3 sets of your threads, all in that gorgeous red. Isn't it lovely? Then you'll get your panel with the printed pattern on. Here's our lovely, gorgeous reindeer. I'm just going to try and tilt it so you can see it. It's always difficult on white. And then, of course, you've got the panel with the numbers on. But what you really want to see is the fabulous finished effect. So behind me is the actual panel. Doesn't that look so nice? And it's just so lovely, isn't it? And so relaxing to do a little bit of hand stitching with this. I like the way even it's been frayed slightly on the numbers. I just love the pattern. He's got real personality, doesn't he? He's really, really cute. So this is such a nice thing to do. Great time to get it in October, because then you'll finish it for Christmas. £19.99. Item number is 814298. Now, Sue, we have got... I'm going to come this side. Is this side or this side? I'm going to ask our director. This side. Okay, fine. Because we've got our gorgeous stocking panels that you can create. I just think they're fabulous, and obviously they will open as well, so you can open them up. You've left some for me here. So again, these can have little treats in.
Yeah, little treats. These were designed by Sue Rhodes, who's
yes.
lovely Sue, and she'll be on next month. She's been very busy working on some new projects. So good morning, Sue. I don't think she'll be up quite so early.
Don't blame her.
On a Sunday. What I just explain is that all of the designs on there are different.
Yes.
So you've got 24 unique stitcheries, which are lovely, and they've all got different Christmassy sort of things on there, like bells, as you can see there, a little house, candy canes on one, little snowmen, and they are just so sweet to make. So what we've done with this is, again, had the panel printed by Hayley from Craft Yourself Silly. She does all of our printing for us. It's really nice quality, and it doesn't come off the design. So even if you don't tackle it all this year, you know, it's not like sometimes with transfers over the years, they fade and fade. These will be here forever. So that's excellent, but they're lovely and fine.
Yes.
And 2 strands of embroidery thread cover it. So I've separated these 2 out, Alex, so you can either buy just the panel if you want to have the panel, and that's got all of the designs there pre-printed. There are no instructions how to make the stockings with that. I will just point that out. It is just the panel, and then if you would like to obviously complete the stockings, then have the pattern. And also within the pattern, you have also got all of the 24 templates there for you to trace out if you don't want to buy the panel. So you can, it's an either or, that one, or both together if you want them both together. But it is a lovely project, and they are really very nice. You can hang them on the tree, as we've done here. But another idea that we did think about was to have them as a long garland on ribbon, and that would be nice as well. So there's lots of different ideas with these. Again, I really like the idea of an advent tree. I think it's quite nice, isn't it?
Well, this looks amazing in here in the studio. So if you do want the actual panel, that's at the side of the screen for £14.99. Again, ever such a reasonable price. Item number is 229740. And if you just want the pattern on its own, that is £9.99. Details just coming up onto the screen, and it's 319718. Lovely. Then moving along. Right, so this is the Robin wall hanging, Rocking Robin it's called. I love that. So, Sue, what do you get in this lovely collection?
Now with that one, Alex, I've just basically done it as a very basic starter kit, so it doesn't include the main fabrics for Rockin' Robin. What it does include is the glitter felt, and that what gives the lovely sparkle to it. And I've also included some of the brown felts for the robins, and then I've also included in there the embellishments, so things like the little felt balls are in there, the little beads, the little buttons, all those little things again that can be a little bit challenging sometimes just to get hold of. When we put a kit together, sometimes I do work on the fact that as sewers, a lot of us have got lovely fabrics that we might want to use, you know, that are sort of ready for Christmas. But often it's those little bits and pieces that can be a little bit difficult to get hold of. So that's why I don't put the whole kit together with some of these things.
Yeah, really not. Where's our Rockin' Robin? I'm going.
He's behind you, or hanging up there on the.
Yes,
there he is.
Oh,
There he is.
How daft. But look at this. So yeah, so you can use your own gorgeous fabrics, but you, like you said, Sue, you've added those embellishments. You've got that lovely glitter. I love the glitter fabric. How cool is this?
It's so nice, isn't it? It just adds such a lot of sparkle. It's actually glitter felt.
Oh, glitter felt.
Yes,
sorry.
it's absolutely stunning to use, and we've used it, or girls used it a lot, you know, in the projects, and it just adds a little bit of Christmas twinkle, which we all need, don't we?
Definitely need a bit of twinkle. So that is £14.49. Then you'll get your instructions too. Item number is 960002. Now we have an update because our lovely pyramids, they've gone, Sue.
Oh my goodness. Oh, crikey.
Yeah, technically they've sold out, which means all the stock is in baskets. You just need to make sure you're checking out your basket to secure it. But what a lovely project to do. There you go. So yeah, all sold out for now. There we go. Then we've got mittens, and we can go different colours here, can't we, Sue?
Yes. I've put together 4 different colourways of wool felt on this particular project, Alex. So we've got red, blue, grey or green as an option.
Yeah.
And in each of your kits there'll be enough fabric and felt, and if you cut it really carefully, you might even be able to get the odd extra little mitten out of it,
nice. Yeah.
which is really nice. So they are almost little complete kits, these. They're really lovely, and there'll be enough there to do all 7 mittens that you see on the pattern. Plus I've included a skein of embroidery thread.
Great stuff.
I've also included on this particular kit the iron-on violin. And when we do our red work, and I particularly do it, and I know Sue's the same, and I think girls the same as well, it is actually really nice to put some iron-on violin behind your work. If you do that, it stabilises it so much you don't need to actually worry about using an embroidery hoop. So I put a little square of that in there as well for you, so you don't have to worry about your violin on that. And I've also included the little tags that say "with love," which I think are really sweet. They just add the detail to them, don't they? And that's what I really love with particularly with Gail's work. She works a lot with embellishments, and she takes a long time to source the things that we actually think really just add that little bit of extra twinkle to it, and they're really nice. So you get 8 tags in with your little kit as well, and the baker's twine just to actually to be able to tie them off. So they are lovely. They were designed as gift tags, but I also think they would again look really lovely as Christmas decorations as well.
They do. We're just having a look at this lovely tree again. Now, where are we? Where is it? This one that you can't see. Hang on, no, down there.
Sometimes they twiddle around on themselves, don't they? Can you see? Yeah, there's 7 different designs in that one, and there's also an alphabet in there as well. So you can actually have Merry Christmas, Noel. You know, you could add and make your own things up, or personalise it with the person's name on it as well. So they are really nice, aren't they? Really lovely.
Loving those. £14.99. So you've got those different colourways to choose from. Item number is 110475. Then we've got these Robbie and Robert. I love the names as well.
I know, they're so
adorable. So what do we get in this kit then, Sue?
Now with this one again, Alex, I've just done a basic starter kit, so it doesn't include the main body of the fabric. Now we used a fabric, or Gail, this is the royal way, I don't actually make these. Gail, when she used it, used a product, I think you can either call it Minky or Cuddle depending on the brand. It's very soft. And I know sometimes people have found it a little bit challenging to find. So what I would say is fleece works equally as well, and it's quite inexpensive. And just a little tip, I prefer it because actually the Minky and the other product, it does shred a lot when you're not shreds, but you know when you cut it, you end up with a carpet full of fluff.
Right.
Whereas I actually love fleece because you get hardly any.
I get you.
You know, sort of when you cut it, there's no sort of bits and pieces coming off it.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you can't get that particular product. 'Cause I think in fleece it would look equally nice and be equally soft.
Yeah.
But again, what I've put in there is things like the little bit of orange for their little beaks. I've put the yellow for their feet. I've put a little bit of gold lame in there, which is great. Yeah, which is nice. Again, just to do their the names. Obviously, again, there's an alphabet in there, so you can put the name of the recipient on, or child, or adult, or you could just go Noel, you know, Christmas, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And there's white and black felt, and also I've just put the little felt balls in there as well, just to embellish. So again, it's just a little, just gets you started with that, I think, if that's okay.
Love it. Look at it. Threaded legs as well.
Yeah, the little dangly legs, they just really make them sweet, don't they?
That's adorable. Right then, £10.99. Item number is 615180. Now, what am I getting from the back? The
Frosty.
snowman cushion in the... One second. Frosty and Friends. Sorry, running out of sets. There we go. It's these two. So these are a little bit of a sneak peek.
No, they are actually. I think on this show. I think they should come up on the website for this. Yes, we ran out of space actually. We've got so many things to fit in this time, so I think we just put them on the back wall. And again, this is just a little starter kit. So let me just stress: doesn't include the fabric for the cushions, but it does include the applique for the reindeer and the snowman. So you've got sheets of brown felt in there, white, black for the snowman, and a few little bits of green. But again, the embellishments and the cushion covers are up to you.
Yes.
You know, again, people probably want to make it in their own home deck colours.
That's it, yeah.
So that's why I tend not to sort of put those things in.
Nice. Yeah. That is then £10.99 if you want to make these lovely kits. Look, this is what you're getting. There you go, as Sue's just explained. And it's £10.99 and your item number is 379572. Now, okay, right, the pyramid boxes, we can get these to you again on extended delivery. They're going to be dispatched from the 26th of October. It's £11.99. Item number is 752013, but that has proved very, very popular this hour. Some more new todays for later on. So this is the heads up we've got, haven't we, Sue?
Yeah, I think that's my favourite, actually. I always love, whenever Gail does anything new, and Sue, I'm always thrilled to see what they've done. But this is one of my favourites. When I saw when Gail had made this, I thought that is absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
So that's going to be featured on the 11 o'clock show more. But again, just anyone who wants a little sneaky, get ahead. They are really, really nice. And there's, I think, 8 different snowmen on there.
Yeah, look at them. They're already shopping ahead, Sue.
Oh,
yes,
they are super cute. In fact, we were busy in the hotel last night making up little kits for those, because they do include things like little carrot noses, you know, which again we're sitting there making them up busily.
That's so sweet. They are so gorgeous. So that for that kit then, £17 and 49 pence. Item number is 209753. So you can, of course, call us on the usual number 01733 602000, or do check out the website at hochanda.com. And remember, you can shop by brand, so you can see all the other lovely goodies that Gail and Sue have brought for us. Right, I'm going to hand back to you now, Gail. What would you like to demo for us?
We're going to do a little bit of red work now.
Sounds good.
So I don't want to confuse everybody, but we've got quite a lot of red work on the show. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the show is talk you through some of the projects that we've got on there.
Sounds good.
And also how to construct the little tags. So if I start with the red work gift tags, and just to confuse you even further, mine are in blue. So I designed these with the idea that they would be put on a present, and you get the full alphabet within the pattern, so that you can name the tag. So you could put to Robert on there. I've also got in the pattern the word from, so you could put your name on there. And I thought it would be a really nice touch that if you've got one with the name on, and then you've got one with one of the little pictures on, that people could keep them then and then maybe hang them on the tree.
Yeah.
Something to consider when you do the tags. I designed them this way around because I thought of them hanging on the gift. But if they're going to hang on the tree, so if we look at the these candy canes, because the hanger is here, if it hung on the tree, it would actually be upside down.
Right.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
So if you want them to then hang on the tree, then what I advise is you put the design the other way around. So when you come to construct the tags, think of how you're going to use them. If you're just going to use them for gift tags, then I like it this way. If you're going to use them for hanging on the tree, then put your design the other way around. I do mention that in the pattern, so don't worry about that at this stage. Also, like we said, they come in all different colours, the kits. So you can have the green, grey, blue, and that. So you can do what you want with them. You don't have to stitch them out in red either. You know, you get the thread with there, but there's nothing to stop you stitching in lots of other colours. And also, you can then go on to embellish your tags as well. You could add some extra detail of stitching and pop a few little embellishments on there. The one that I showed earlier, you can see I've used like a riveting tool there to cut the little hole. There's just a plethora of things that you can do with Redwork once you get going. So let's talk about constructing the tags to begin with. So in your pattern, you'll have the tag template. And a bit of that, when I spoke to you earlier, I like to then put these paper templates onto card. So you can see here, I've taken the paper template, I've cut it out, I've then glued it onto card just with a glue stick. I find the dry glue works better because it doesn't make your paper go all wrinkly. Okay, and then I've cut the tag out. I find it easier just to be drawing round a shape.
Yeah.
So then you can pop that onto your felt once you've cut it out. And then you could take your felt, if I just get a piece of felt, pop your tag on there, and then with a marking pen, draw around there. Now, the preferred method that I've got, so I explain this in the pattern, but my preferred method is to actually use a product called freezer paper.
Right.
And that's a wax-coated paper. So I'm just going to show you how that works. So the paper has got wax on one side, okay, and it's just paper on the other side. Now, you could just pop that over your pattern and trace it off. But I still find it easier using a template to lay the template on and draw around there.
Yep.
Now, I don't know whether we mentioned when you were on the counter or not, Alex, but Sue has got acrylic templates.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, and those are available on the show as well.
Right.
And these are really good because it saves you doing the card bit, and then you can just lay that directly onto your fabric or just use it as a template to draw around there. And also, talking about the templates, I know I'm digressing slightly.
That's all right.
Okay, but I do like to get value for money. If once you've got the template, then yes, you can make the Redwork tags, but you could also use it to cut applique shapes.
Yeah.
So then you could use the template to cut applique shapes and then just put your applique onto a quilt or a cushion. And that's so it's got more than one use, so don't just think of it just for the Redwork. So I'll draw around that, then take my paper, my freezer paper, shift these out of the way. I'm just going to bring the iron in. And then with my freezer paper sheet, just going to roughly cut it out, pop the freezer paper onto my felt, and then iron it onto my felt. Now, I would normally, if I was at home, I wouldn't be popping this right in the middle of the felt like that. I would be cozying it right to the edge to maximise the amount of amount of tags I can get out of my felt. But if we look at that, once it's gone cool, it's stuck, it's adhered nicely. Yeah. But then I can peel it off, and it doesn't leave any residue on my felt at all. And then I could pop it back on and iron it again. So once it is ironed on there and it's cooled, I will then take a pair of scissors and cut my template out.
Lovely. May I just pause you there, Gail?
You can.
Because we have some lovely updates for you. Okay, you are liking the heads up, are new today. We 70% of the stock gone. So do make sure you're checking out. As I said, Sue and Gail are back at 11 o'clock, but we'll just see what happens stock-wise here. £17.49. Item number is 209753. And then another sneaky peek is the candy cushion. Ah, yes.
Shall I bring it into shots then?
that would be marvellous if you don't mind.
Ooh.
Oh, if we get... Yes, lovely, lovely, lovely. That's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's got a proper sparkle to it, hasn't it?
Has. Look at that.
And all the glitter felt, all the different colours.
Yeah.
Actually, everything is in the kit,
Right.
bar the stuffing and the thread to sew it together.
Got you.
Yeah, so it's a really good kit. I actually, you know, sometimes you have like a little favourite. So when I made the cushions, I made the Santa and the snowman, and this is the third in the range. But there's something quite magical about a gingerbread house, isn't there?
But again, you're finding this on the website. Thank you very much, Gail.
And
Yes,
sorry, Alex.
That's
I was
all
just going to say I will be demonstrating the heads up and the cushion on the 11 o'clock show.
Lovely. So do make sure you're checking in at 11 o'clock. There you go. This is what you get. And it's £17.49, 050677. Right, back to you, Gail. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, we digressed then, didn't we? So then, the good thing about the freezer paper, so why do I use freezer paper? Why didn't I just draw around? It's because it holds my felt really stable, and then it gives me a really nice sharp line when I'm cutting out the pattern piece. So I love freezer paper. It just makes... It makes the piece, when you've cut it out, look like it's been laser cut or die cut, and that. So it gives you a really nice edge. Because sometimes it's quite frustrating as well, cutting felt, because it's soft and it gives. It can sometimes flop around a bit, but the paper keeps it stiff. And if the paper does start to peel off while you're busy cutting out, then you can just lay it back down and take your iron and iron it again. And it's stuck back down there.
Perfect.
Yeah, so so it's really easy. So you can see, when I cut out the middle, you can either bend it, snip, or you can use a craft knife or anything to get into the middle.
Yeah.
And then you end up with your lovely templates like this, and then you can peel your paper off, and you've got your perfect mitten. Now, it's a right-handed one here, but then if I flip it over, it's a left-handed one. So then you can think of making them in pairs, and I think they look really cute in pairs. And then you can put a piece of string on there, and then they can be joined up like they used to be when you were a child and your mum used to thread that string through you. Do they do that anymore?
Memories.
Am I showing my age? I'm showing my age.
No, they might do.
I'm not sure whether we thread anything through coats anymore. So then moving on to the Redwork. So this is why I want to talk to you about, you know, the Reindeer Advent as well.
Yeah.
So you might have bought the pre-printed panel. So, or you get the pattern as well, and so you might want to retrace the reindeer then and use the reindeer again. So the same process is going to be used for the reindeer as I'm going to do for the little tags.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm sort of covering both things at the same time.
Yeah, all good.
So we take our piece of fabric, and then I'm all at 6s and 7s today. I have got got my papers somewhere. The pattern does help, doesn't it? So we take our fabric. Now, what I advise is if you're going to stitch out your own Redwork and you're choosing your fabric, choose something with a slightly looser weave. So you don't want to be trying to do Redwork through batiks or polycottons. It's not that it's impossible to do it, it just makes stitching through it that bit harder. So something like calico works well, or a lightweight linen. And also, because they are lightweight, and that you can see your design really easy.
Yeah.
So then that's all you have to do is pop your design onto your paper, and you can see there clearly, can't you?
Yeah.
That you can see the design through it. Sorry, I'm moving it around, I'm not helping there.
No, it's all good. And just so you know, you've got about 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you. So, so once you've got your design on there, you just take a pencil and then literally just draw on there. You can use fancy marking tools, but some of them disappear over time, and then some of them fade with heat or cold or damp or whatever. And what you can guarantee with a pencil is the line stays there, so you're only tracing it once. So I just quite like using a pencil, and also what I like to do is get a nice sharp point on there and then just rub the tip of the pencil, so I just take the sharp point off so that when I come onto my fabric it doesn't snag on the fabric, if that makes sense. And then you can tape it onto your paper if you want, or sometimes I just pop a pin in there. You can also use a light box or a window. And then the one thing, some people like all their panels pre-printed, and I do because I can just get on with it. But I also sometimes like tracing round them, because as I'm tracing round there, I'm actually thinking about how I'm going to stitch. So I've already gone round the lines once. Now you only need a light line. You don't need to be doing a really dark line, because you just want to sew over that. Okay, and then we just trace it out. If you've got trouble with it, like I say, a light box or pinning it to a window or anything like that will do. Once I've done that, Sue mentioned earlier about putting an interface in on the back. Now, the reason we do that is because it gives us a nice firm piece of fabric to stitch through. And it also, if we do some stitches on the back and skip stitches, then it covers the thread on the back. And if I'm working on a large piece, Alex, what I like to do is I actually put the violin on first before I trace the design off.
Right.
Because now you can see how firm that is. It's more like a piece of paper. So then when I lay it onto my pattern, it's a nice firm surface. So when I draw with a pencil, the fabric doesn't move around.
Got you.
The downside of it is you can now see that it's harder to see the design through there. So if I put the interface in on the fabric first, then I do use a light box then, or tape it to a window. So once we've drawn our design out, here's one here. Now all the Redwork is done the same way. Okay, I'm not professing to be an expert in hand stitching, but basically that's all it is a back stitch, and you're just sewing straight lines. So if you've never done this before, this is a really great place to start, and the tags are a perfect place to start because they're small and you can, just get a couple done in an evening. So once I take my my fabric, you can see here with my little design on there, and you can see it's quite light. I've got 2 strands of the thread. So I've taken it from the skein. The skein had 6 strands in there, so I've now got 2 strands of thread. I tied a knot in the end.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take, it doesn't really matter, you can start your design wherever you want. And I'm going to come up through the back of my work on the line. Okay, pull the knot. I'll trim off that loose end later. And then, because it's a back stitch, rather than go forward, I'm actually going to go back a second. Okay, and then I'm going to come out just beyond where I started. Can you see that?
Yeah, all good.
And what I'm trying to do is to get an equal space before that thread and after it. When you first start, that doesn't happen. And sometimes it doesn't happen in my world either. And you know what? It doesn't matter. You're meant to enjoy this.
Yeah.
I find sometimes people agonise over, oh, my stitch is not quite the right size and it's not quite straight. And I just think we're meant to be having fun. So the stitching police are not going to be out there checking up on you. So just enjoy yourself, okay?
Yeah.
You're going back in the hole you just came out from, and then you skip into the next bit. Now you may be a thimble kind of lady. Are you a thimble lady when you stitch?
No, I don't own one.
No, I don't own one either. I don't do thimbles. Now my stitches are all different lengths at the moment, but with practice, your stitches become neater. So once you've done that, I wanted to show you one other stitch. I'm just going to go through to the back.
Yep, all good.
For his eyes, we need to do a French knot.
Favourites.
Like a French knot, dear. I quite like a French knot. Makes you look really clever really easily, doesn't it? So if you're used to knotting your thread, then basically you can do a French knot, okay? So you've come out from your fabric. You're going to take your thread and you're just going to wrap it round the needle. Now, the more times you wrap it round the needle, the bigger the knot will become.
Right.
But I really think you should stop at about 3, if I'm honest. Otherwise, it ends up looking a little bit of a dog's breakfast. And then, so I've gone around there twice, and then I'm going back in where I came out. The trick is to hold on to the thread, this piece of thread here. Don't let go of that, okay? And then pop your needle in, pull it through, and look at that.
Perfect.
You've just got that lovely little ball there, and then you can do another one for his eye over there. And as if by magic, here's one I prepared earlier.
Oh, he looks so cute.
I'm just going to bring in Alex at this point as
all
well.
good.
I just want to show you the reindeer, because he's huge. If I just lay him out on the table, you can see there how lovely it is that with a design that's this big, it's really nice that it's already drawn out for you, and you can see how nice and fine the line is. And basically that's all you're going to do with him is the same as you did with that little teeny tiny piece. And if you look at this and you think, oh, that's a massive project, I'm not really sure where to start with that, then just imagine them like all the little mittens. So just do one little gift first, or just concentrate on doing the holly in there, and break it down into little bite-sized pieces. I want to mention his eyes. Okay, you can see his eyes are quite dark there. Initially, when I designed this, I thought about putting beads or buttons there, and I found that it didn't work. So I actually just leave his eyes as they are. I stitch around the outside, and then I don't stitch in, I don't fill that centerpiece in, because I felt that if he had red eyes, he'd look a little bit like a little demon.
Demonic,
So I just figure it's surprising when you see the finished sample, as that comes together, they work, that works quite well. So I just want to show you the construction of the mitten. So once you've stitched out your little design, you're going to lay your mitten over the top. And again, this is where you decide which way round it's going to be. If a tag, that's fine, or you might want to put it the other way round, okay, if he's hanging up this way round. And then because I'm always in a hurry, I stitched mine then on a sewing machine. So I stitched round there with a blanket stitch, and then I cut the back away. So you can see here. And you can sort of see where the blanket stitch is there in reverse on the back, but done on the machine. And then once I did that, I then popped it onto another plain piece of felt. Now, people have asked why I didn't just cut out 2 mitten shapes. And the reason for that is when you come to put them together, unless you are a precision cutter, you might not get them together exact. So this way it's easier. So with a couple of little dabs of glue, you can pop that on there and then cut round there. And then once you've cut round there, you can see where I put the little bit of glue in there, put the 2 layers together. You can then go around again the outside edge with a blanket stitch, and you can do that by hand or machine. Okay, and then you can just add your tag and your charm. I just wanted to mention, some people might be watching this, I did come on before with the mitten tags, and if you've already got the mittens, I know it's in the later show, I won't be demonstrating it, but we have got the other range of tags.
Ah, lovely.
So I just pop them on the table so you can see them. So if you've enjoyed making these as well, there's the other set. And in that pattern, you get all the designs, but you get all of these shapes. Whereas in the mitten pattern, you get the full alphabet and everything. In this one, you don't get the alphabet or anything, but you do get all the different shape tags, and they do come in all different colours as well. I wanted to quickly mention something else as well about the having the alphabet.
Okay, just to say we've got a minute left.
Oh my God, where's that time gone?
I know, right?
Sorry. So
that's all right.
So in the mitten tags, you get the alphabet, and if you want to do a name or whatever, if I just pop it this way around, sorry. And you want to trace off the name, what I do is I draw a line first, and then I put my paper over and I write my name onto paper first, and then I trace it onto my fabric. I don't lay my fabric over each letter. I trace it so that way you don't end up with the name all skew-iff, and also you can double check that it actually fits in your template before you've gone to all the trouble of putting it on your fabric. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Thank you, Gail. Sorry we've run out of time. Please make sure you're joining the ladies at 11 o'clock, of course. So for your fabulous mittens, just $14.99 for your lovely kit. I mean, just look at what you can make. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Where is the... Oh, it's over there. I was like, it's because the trees look similar, thanks to $14.99. It's 110475. And then another really popular item is the pyramids. I am in front of the right pack shop. And basically half of the extended delivery stock has also gone now. That is $11.99 for your lovely, I mean, they're just fabulous, aren't they? Look, you make a little, a medium and a large one with a nice treat in. $11.99, item number is 752013. Thank you very much, Gail.
You're welcome.
We will see you at 11, and thank you very much, Sue.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Again, we'll see you at 11 a.m. Do make sure you place in your orders. As I said, you can shop by brand online at Hochanda.com. So go to Daisy Chain Designs and check out also, obviously, we've got snowmen coming up in the next hour. We've got the gingerbread house, which is just jolly marvellous. Right then, so we will see you again in 5 minutes' time after the break. Oh, time for a cup of tea or coffee. Next then, I'm going to hop, skip and jump over, that sounds a bit too energetic actually, over to the other side of the studio to be with Lou for our Ecoline one-day special. See you in a minute.
Welcome to All & Create's 4th birthday event here at Hochanda, with 3 one-day specials and a weekend wow. We invite you all to celebrate with us as we bring you fantastic products and inspirational demonstrations, plus up to 2 free gifts with purchase in each promotion, so up to 8 per customer. Join us for All & Create's 4th birthday celebrations on Wednesday the 14th of October at 6 p.m. to Monday the 19th of October at 6 p.m.
Hi, we're the team from Daisy Bee Stamps. My name's Nina, this is Josie, and this is my dad Roy. And we design and manufacture our very own polymer stamps. So 3 years ago, we decided to embark on turning our own designs into polymer stamps. We're really excited about where this is going to take us in the future and how we can evolve those designs and keep bringing you something that's just so different. So we wanted to add an extra element to our stamp collection, and this was down to Josie using her iPad and hand drawing the amazing sentiments that we now have in our collection. All our designs complement each other so that you can use them again and again to create something new. So make sure you don't miss the Daisy Bee shows on Hochanda.
Hello, my name's Stuart and I'm the Managing Director of Oakwood Archer. Oakwood Archer is a family-run business, and my son and my daughter work very hard with me to bring the best craft items to you in the UK. We specialise in high-quality items brought into the UK from all over the world, including brands like Kaisercraft, Stampendous and Impression Obsession. Working with Hochanda is fantastic for us. It gives us the opportunity to bring all of these brands and all of these products from all over the world direct to you, the crafter in the UK. Our products include stamps, dies, papers, buttons, trimmings, ribbons and album making kits. Just about everything you need to be a good crafter. So please don't miss Oakwood Archer shows on Hochanda.
Have you heard of Hochanda Freedom? Did you know that as a Hochanda Freedom member, you could be making savings on every order you place? For just £5.97 a month, you will benefit from selected Freedom member discounts and complimentary standard delivery on every order you place. You will also receive our exclusive Hochanda Freedom members badge, regular newsletters, giveaways and crafty updates. If you shop with Hochanda more than twice a month, then Freedom is for you. Don't forget, your Freedom membership is flexible, so you can pause it if you're going away, or you can cancel it at any time. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call or head to the website, quoting item number 88888 and join Hochanda Freedom today.
Hi, I'm John Lockwood from John Next Door and Crafts Too. I've been with Hochanda since the very beginning, and I've been crafting a lot longer than that. My crafting journey's taken me through all different types of crafting, from stamping and die cutting to colouring and inking, and loads of different things. I've been working with Crafts2 now for over 3 years, and they produce the John Next Door brand, distribute it, and make sure that everything is perfect in that. This allows me to work with the fantastic Crafts2 tools and products, as well as some of their other amazing brands such as 2J Stamps, Presscut, and the Craft Artist range of glues and consumables and inks. I really find that this partnership is extremely strong and helps me bring out the best of my products and all the other products within the Crafts2 stable and the ones that I design. So don't miss the John Next Door and Crafts2 shows on Hochanda.
Good morning. Well, it's 8 a.m, which means it's one day special time. And Lou is here for us. Hello, Lou.
Good morning.
I feel like we've never been apart. Do you know what I mean?
I know. It's brilliant, though.
That's good. It's good. Now, right, so we've got some absolutely fantastic pens, Ecoline. What do you like about these, Lou, if I may ask?
Oh,
now you're putting you on the spot.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I'm a watercolour person to colour anyhow. I love them. You can do so much with them. You can do direct blending with them. You can watercolour out with them. I'm going to bring the jelly plate in today. You can use them with stencils. You can do your fancy writing with them and then blend out. You can create backgrounds. You've got the blender pen.
Yeah.
And they are artist quality, but it allows us who aren't artists per se to actually have all the benefit of that in a pen.
It's so good, and the colours are just divine. And check out the brush nib, because it's got quite a bit of flexibility, hasn't it?
It's got a lot of flexibility, so you don't have to put very, very much pressure on it at all to get a colour.
Yeah.
You can do a really beautiful thin line, or you can do a really heavy, thick, you know, brush line if you're into your letter writing, or if you're into any form of your colouring. And they blend, like you said, they've got the intensity of colour.
Yes, look at this colour. This is amazing.
I mean, I've used that and I've mixed all the different colours together. But I've also, the little speckles, I've actually taken the liquid watercolours we've got in, mixed it with gel mediums, put that over the top of it, and then blend it again. So you can they keep giving in lots and lots of different ways. But they allow you to... Sorry, I didn't like the nose, so it's got lots of little dribbles all over it.
Oh, no, I love it.
So, but they allow you to do as much as you want. So that's heavily with using lots of water.
Right.
But if you want to do just direct colouring and just leave the colours as intense, you can as well. So it allows... I could go on forever. I mean,
it's all good. I love it. But look at these beautiful colours. Do I have a swatch for this, Lou?
For the 10, oh no, we did one last night, and I don't know where I've put it. I actually did a swatch.
We can find it later.
As my first demo.
That's all good. That's all good. Look, there you go. You can see that beautiful intensity of colour. So we are getting, obviously, the 10 Ecoline brush pen set, but also you're getting the brush blender pen. For anybody who doesn't know what this does, what does it do?
Okay, if they want to look at last night at 8 o'clock, we did the blender pen. The blender pen, if you're new to watercolouring, allows you to blend and create watercolour effects, but without having to worry about how much water you've put on.
Right.
So, I mean, I love using a brush because that's what I'm used to. But you've then got the worry that the water can spread out, whereas the blender pen is very controlled. So you've got all the wonderful techniques you can do, and just puts you a little bit more in charge.
I like that. Oh, we like being in charge anyway, so that's a good thing. And then we've got the print paper, which is your A4 print paper, and I'm assuming this takes, you know, the pens phenomenally.
Oh, this paper will take pens, it will take mediums, it will take the liquid watercolours, it will take everything. But the added bonus is if you like your digital images, or I mean, and things like that, you can put it through your printer.
Cool.
So you can actually now print directly onto it and do all your watercolour and techniques. And I brought the 6 o'clock show, I did it with the printer, and I've got an inkjet, and normally with an inkjet printer it's like a, oh no, because the water can, the colour can bleed. but heat set it, and you just carry on as normal.
Yeah.
It is, so it allows you to, if you're into like digital images and things like that, but you like watercolouring, you can now bring the two together, so it's like a little hybrid.
Nice, yeah.
But you've got the benefit of it being a proper watercolour paper.
Excellent, there you go. Now, you've got, actually, there's a decent old saving on this, isn't there? £15 off.
And you've got 75 sheets.
Yes.
I know.
Got to mention that. So it's really good. So you're getting the 10 wonderful colour pens. You've got the brush blender pen, easy for me to say not, and you've also got the A4 print paper for £29.93. 461449. Now it's going to be dispatched from the 20th of October. Next then we have got your complete collection. So this will include the one day special colours, but then you've got so many more colours.
Oh, you've got 59 colours and a blender pen. It's just like, oh, but I'm terrible. I have to go for everything. If you're going to have that, you know, I just do, because I love all the different mishmash. I mean, pastels, yes, you can lighten a colour down, but you don't necessarily make it pastel.
Right.
So, it changes in different ways. So you've got the two sets there. You've got, like, the original, which has got, like, 29 colours and a blender, and then you've got the additional colours on top.
Love it. So you're talking about the pastels. Have a little look here so you can see the colour swatch.
You're saying that colour swatch is actually on the printer paper. So when I got all my stuff, I actually just went into a Word document, created a couple of tables, printed it off, let it dry, and then I've actually done my own colour swatches that way.
Oh, see, that's good.
So I can actually see how the colours work on the paper as well.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean,
so you've got a true representation of how the colours move, and the vibrancy of the actual colours.
Oh, and look at this. Look what you've done here. This is, again, I mean, look at the colours.
I mean, the colours there, I mean, all the images were coloured. It's only that page. There are some other pages in there, but and all colour washes. But I wanted to do that in my journals to prove that the Ecolines don't just need this printer paper or the paper we've got on. They will work across the board on a myriad of different surfaces.
Cool. And Meg's just been, because I can't do the maths, Meg's just been telling me in my ear that this works out at £1.72 per pen. Now, for a pen of this quality, you'd expect to pay a lot more per pen, wouldn't you?
About £3.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. So you have got a really, really good deal here. And the nice thing is that instead of 2 payments, we've spread the cost even further for 3 payments of £34.33. 585022 is your item number. Oh, I missed that. Oh, Meg, sorry. Oh, website, that's what she said. I was like, what? Have a look. Yes, at the website, because we've got lots more bundles for you. We've got some fabulous inks too. But yeah, we're going to get into the demos now. By the way, you can get some greys, should you wish. You can get those individually. They're quite useful colours, the grey ones. I think a lot of people do tend to go for the greys.
I prefer the grey to a black. Black can be, if you're doing shadowing and things like that, black can be very daunting.
Yeah.
Also, it's there. And it's harder to remove.
It is,
but it's harder to remove. With watercolours, you can put water on top and you can take colour away, but it's harder with a black. Whereas with a grey, you can build up your intensity of shadow.
Yeah.
And we've got warm greys.
Warm greys,
as well.
Very, very nice. We've also got other things, as you can see on the website, because you can go for glazing mediums. We've got gessos if you're needing to top up on that. So, yeah, lots there for you. Do check out on the websites. If you've got any questions that you would like to ask Lou, then do send your questions to studio@hochanda.com, or you can pop them on Facebook. So where would you like to start,
Well, I was going to say what we've quickly done so far.
Yeah, great.
If that's okay.
Of course.
Now, this is how I started in the 6 o'clock show, the launch show. And this was my original koi that I did on the paper that we've got here. Well, it's not paper, it's card, really.
Yeah.
And I was then thinking, well, I can make this bigger. And I've actually scanned it in, I then printed it off, and I could have lots of different colours and everything like that. But that was just doing it in a canvas. And I've gone directly onto a canvas.
Yep.
I mean, I have gessoed it. I've then used the mediums through it by adding the inks, and then I've gone around the outside with a blending tool. So you can use them in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
And this one was another one we did at 8. But this is making a background. I let the background dry, and this is on the printer paper, and then I put it back through the printer.
Right.
And then I put my sentiment on top, and then I've used the black pen. So you have to let your background dry.
Okay.
But I went through the printer again, so I can do all my fancy brush lettering if that's what you want to do.
I like your brush lettering a lot.
Oh, that was going over a template. I'm trying. But this was to show that I created a background last night on the printer paper, and I've added salt and stuff. But you don't have to just use it through the printer. You can use it to create your own, you know, stamp on. This is with stamping. You don't have to just use it through the printer. It's still a versatile medium. And then you were talking about the blender pen.
Look at that. Yeah.
So this is all the different colours, and I've used the blender pen to blend them out, blend them into each other, but also put the colour directly onto the blender pen, which was this one, and then I can blend it out to literally next to nothing.
Yeah.
So the blender pen does help you. It gives you a little bit more control if you don't want to use a brush.
Got you.
Right. So what I was going to do is I was going to bring my jelly plate in.
Love it.
I'm just going to move those out of the way. Otherwise, the printer's coming in handy now, isn't it, to just dump things on?
Little table.
You do. Brilliant. So, and you can use watercolours with your jelly plate, and you can have a great different bit of control. So I'm going to grab some colours. I'm going to do some quite vibrant colours to start with. So I can go on. I'm going to say now my jelly plate will have probably remnants of things on. So you might see other colours come through.
That's all right. It's all good.
So I can use my pens directly, and I can add it where I want to, so I can be a little bit more controlled. As you can see there. Now, if I pulled a print off like this, all I'm going to see is those stripes. So if I'll do that quickly, then I can turn the paper over. But if that's the look you want, that's fine.
Cool.
So we can do it that way. And that will come off that way.
Yeah.
And I've still got some ink on there, so I can sit there and lightly mist it. And watercolours on a jelly plate will bead, because that's just the nature of them.
Right.
So if I do that one like that...
I quite like the beading, though.
The beading, also, when you add the water to the watercolour, it's obviously designed to move. So it will spread in different ways. You won't have probably the same control as you would do if you were putting paints in exactly the same way, because the water just wants to travel.
Right.
So that, it was just like the mop-up with a little bit of water. But I could actually then spritz this one a little bit more. Your paper will dry flat.
Okay, that's good.
She says. And I can spritz that, and I can then blend it again. So that was on the jelly plate, and you can do the same there.
Oh, that's cool. You've got choices.
You've got choices, so I'm just going to put them there because they will dry. Now, the other thing you can do is, on the jelly plate, I'm going to grab some of the inks, but I want to do a little bit of gesso. And I'm going to be really trying and put a little drop out, because...
Tiny bit.
Yeah.
Well, it goes a long way.
It does go a long way, but also sort of, I keep squeezing the tube and I don't need to. I might have to put I'm going to put a little bit more on, but I'd rather put a little and then build up.
Yeah.
So the pens and the inks will work differently on the gesso surface. It gives you a little bit more play time. Because the gesso is a wet medium, and they'll sit on top of it a little bit more. So if I grab some of the ink, so the ink's here, you can't think, but you just push in, take the lid off.
Right, got you.
And let's do, I'm just going to go for some nice bright colours, because it's Sunday morning, it's early.
Oh, look at the intensity of that.
So I can put this on, and I can leave it like that, and it'll spread out in, like, I want to say, you know, like when they say, what can you see in this picture?
Oh,
that sort of thing.
I love that sort of thing, yeah.
But there we go. So I can put it on top there. So it's sitting on top of the gesso layer. I can take my brayer, and I can move it around, like so, and then I can get a piece of print paper. So I'm using the print paper.
Right. From the one-day special?
Yep, because it is lighter in weight, but it doesn't mean you can't do all these techniques. And the same with all watercolour card. It will bend because of the water nature, but once it's dry, it's flat.
That's good.
If you don't wrap it around your heat gun like that over there. So when I take that off, I've then got that sort of layer using it.
Yeah.
But I've still now got a little bit on here that I can blend out a bit more.
Yeah.
So it seems, awful to let it go to waste, as it were. And I'm just going to add a little spritz of water, only because I want the inks to work in a different way.
Yeah.
So I can pull off another print this way.
It's nice having all these backgrounds.
It is, but I'm going to use one of the backgrounds as well, just to prove that we've done it with the gesso, and but you can carry on building.
Right.
You don't just have to stop here, then you think the watercolours are going to stop there. So that is the second generation of that one.
That is nice.
So, you know, you can keep building up the different intensity. So we're going to work on those ones. So I'll put them, file them. You know, you just go, file them. So another thing I can do is I'm just going to do something simple because it's easier. So I can actually, if you're into your, like, if you want to do your own doodle designs, I can take the pens and do that. So I'm getting carried away now with a few doodles.
No, I like it.
Might as well do that.
And again, you can see the lovely brush nib, how...
Yeah, and then, like I said, you can do a really nice fine line with it.
Yeah.
Or you can get really... however much you want to do it. So I can put that on the top there. Now, this could have gone straight on top of a previous background.
Okay.
So I could have done a background like I've just made with the gesso, and then I could have done this on my jelly plate and put the two on top. I just wanted to show...
Oh, look at that one.
But you can still do that, but if I get a little bit of water, I can get the blender pen.
Yeah.
I can still blend it out. So you could still, so you can create your own designs and just change it how you want to change it. Sorry, it's a bit hard. I'm trying not to stick to the jelly plate.
Oh, no, all good.
So it can change along those lines. So we can do lots of different things with it. So I'm just going to move that out the way. So if I bring back this one here, for example, well, that one's gone for a walk. Just want to give it a quick dry because the paint's wet. And I want to stamp on it. And I'm trying to keep it away from the jelly plate now.
Got you. Was Janice having a play last night?
How did you guess?
Is this Janice's?
Yes, it's... What it was the pen set, that's from the One Day Special.
Yeah.
I gave Janice a brand new set and a new blender, and we went through it together.
Oh, that's lovely.
Because it's great for people to watch me do it and think, oh, well, she uses them all the time.
Yeah.
And Janice has never used them before. So it was her having a go with the blender pen and the pens to create all those different colours.
Nice.
Right, so I've got this layer here now. Let's move the brayer. And I want to grab in a stencil. So I've got a stencil here, and you can still do all the different techniques you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of colour on my mat. And I'm just going to spritz that with a bit of water. So I'm sticking to the similar sort of colours.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking a blending tool. And I just want to put some colour on there, on my blending sponge. And I can go through my stencil with the watercolour. And I can still create a stencil background.
Fab.
I can take the pen itself and just roughly put where I want it with the pen itself. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the water here, and I can carry on still blending through. Because it's a watercolour and my sponge is wet, I can gradually keep building up my pattern.
Got you.
So if I bring in another colour now, let's go for a blue, so we've got a nice contrast. And did I have a blue? Let's put a little bit of water. So you can still use watercolours. I think sometimes we assume watercolours are just one thing. We colour with them.
Ponies, yeah.
But you can still do lots of other different techniques. So I can still take the pen on top of the stencil, and that looks like, ooh. But if I've got some water on here, I'm going to put a little bit more.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the colour. I could have gone straight into water. I just want to make the colours so they blend. And because I've got the water on, they're going to melt in as if they were blending traditionally.
Yeah.
So I can actually now... So just by two colours, which were the ink colours I've put down, I've now... And with my pens, I've now can create as much of a background as I want.
No,
so
these have got real versatility.
They have.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just using, like we would use for our blending inks. So if I take that there, so that's like a background.
Nice.
Very quickly. I haven't done any colouring, per se. I think that stencil's a Dolly Dimples one, and I think it should be on the website.
Right.
I'm trying to pick things that are on the
Yeah,
website. You know,
that's nice.
I do look ahead just in case.
That's cool. I was just having a little go myself,
Go for it.
actually, and They are really nice to use. They flow beautifully. You get the intensity of colour. I mean, I can't brush litter at all. I've just written my name, but you can see though how you'd be able to get. Not the light and shade, but like you said, you can go really fine, or then you can splay it out really nicely.
Yeah, but you could take the blender pen and blend that out if you wanted
well.
to.
Yeah.
You could spritz that with some water, and you could get all nice. So if you did the lower part of your letters, and spritz it with the water spritzer, you could then have a nice little dribble effect going
like
down.
That. Yeah.
Or like you were saying, if you did a second colour and then spritz, you'd get both colours merging into each other.
Nice.
There are so many different ways that you can use watercolour pens, watercolour, you know, the liquid watercolours.
Yeah.
And I just want to try and show as many as possible. So I'm just
Absolutely,
going to stamp onto here, because I know that I did a lot of printing demos, but I just wanted to show that the paper, I was so excited that the paper could go through the print. Well, I took my own doodle, and that meant once I scanned it in, I could make it bigger.
Yeah.
I could make it smaller.
Yeah.
I wasn't just relying on my original drawing. So if I put my stamped image there, so you can still stamp, and what I want to do is I want to grab, let's go, we might as well as we've got these pens out. So I've got this here, I'm going to dry my ink because I can see it's wet. I've treated myself to a new ink pad.
Ah, okay. So it's quite juicy. That's all good.
Yeah, I can see it actually on the top there going, oh yeah. So on this layer here, so this background, we've used the inks, but we did them on a gesso layer.
Right.
So your watercolours, as you've just seen, still blend.
Yeah.
With the gesso, it just allows you a little bit more longevity with the colours.
Yeah.
Right, so I can still, I'm not going to do perfect colouring, so I can still put my pen down. And one of the other benefits I love of watercolour is the translucent nature. So I can then still carry on blending and I can colouring, but I've not lost all my background underneath either.
Yeah. And also, Ecoline itself, I mean, is a nice, well-known
Ecoline, yeah, they are.
brand, you know.
They've been around for a long, long time. They're part of the Royal Talons family.
Yeah.
The pens themselves are dye-based, and they've got a small proportion of gum arabic in it. Oh. Right, so I'm going to be all technical now.
Oh,
Gum arabic is what artists use to extend the life of a paint. So that could be an acrylic or a watercolour. So you put it in, and if you were doing a big background, it allows you a little bit more playtime. Also, gum arabic will make sure it's really translucent if you want to go.
Yeah.
It can add a beautiful gloss finish, and you can actually, that's how they've got the intensity of colour, and how we've got a little bit more playtime with them.
Ah, I like all the technical stuff. I like that. Just while you finish off that wing then, Lou, I'm going to do a quick recap for anybody who is just joining us. Good morning. Right, so the one-day special. I have taken one of the pens out because just so you can, I'll show you the brush nib again. There you go. But you're going to get 10 absolutely fabulous intense colours. There you go. Blue obviously being one of them. But have a look at these. They are, you know, and they're so nice and juicy, and they're good barrels. Do you know what I mean? You've got a lot of ink in there. And you also get it, I mean, just look at this sample. That's just too cool. Look at the blend, look at the vibrancy, look at the intensity. Now, also, as well as the pens, you can see you're going to get your A4 print paper, so it can go through the printer as well. 75 sheets, although I have nicked a few of them now, just to have a little play. And you're also getting the blender pen, which is down there at the front. I've got some more samples. Again, to show you these wonderful colours. Look at this. The greens, the oranges, the blues are wonderful. Look how they blend. It's wonderful. Got another one here, look. They're so lovely. And I adore colouring, as Lou very well knows. I'm a bit obsessed with colouring. So if you want to go for your one-day special, we've got a nice deal there of £15 saving. But remember, that will be going back up at 6 p.m. this evening. It's £29.93, 461,449. Most of you, though, are going, as I would, for the complete collection, because you'll get the one-day special colours and then, of course, another 50 wonderful colours. You can see again, so this is as loose as a true representation of the colours because it's done onto that printer paper, but you've got your lovely vibrant ones all through your yellows and pinks, etc. And then we go into which are very useful. Those slightly more pastel-y colours, but still very rich here as well. So if you want to go for this, we've spread the cost for you, not just twice, but 3 ways. 3 payments of £34.33, and at this price it works out at £1.72. Excellent. Good memory. Per pen, and it's going to be dispatched from the 20th of October. 585022 is the item number. Now, we do have some other bundles if you want to go for these. Okay, so this is the additional 30 pen set. So that is in the complete collection, but if you just want that one, but then it also comes with the fabulous inks, and again, they're really nice and intense. Plus you are getting the A4 print paper. So the inks that you get, I mean, again, a little goes a very long way with these inks, wouldn't you say?
Well, when you saw how little I use, tiny. But you can put them into your palettes, like you would do a watercolour, and let it dry and reactivate it. You can mix them together. You can put them, they work superbly within a gel medium, whether a matte or a gloss, or even on your, if you put them into a gesso, they have a totally different, they have a little bit more of an opaque look than a translucent look.
Got you.
So
okay. Nice, and then look at this one as well. This is a gorgeous sample.
So that one there is actually on the printer paper. So that is a digital image that I downloaded, printed out onto the paper, put my own sentiment on, and I've watercoloured with the Ecolines, but then all the bits around the outside that you see, I've mixed the liquid watercolours in with gel medium through a stencil, and then I've just put lots of little dribbles all over it, and it's only on a piece of card, so it could stand up. But that was just to show how much, and you know, the paper will take.
Definitely, because it, like you said, there's oodles of ink and pen and all sorts on there. So for that little bundle, it is 2 payments of £41.97 if you're going to spread the cost. 418328 is the item number. And then there's another set. We've got lots of choice, haven't we, Lou?
Oh, I know. And we've got lots of lovely card and paper as well.
Nice. Nice. So, the colours we've got here, you can see we've got really nice intense yellows, there's greens, there's blue in here. Good set.
They are, because they're your basic primaries.
Yes.
And I know you've got a green there, but if you mix the blue with the green, you've got a blue-green.
Indeed.
Add more yellow to the green, and you've got a yellow-green, and, you know, with a slight tint. You've got orange with your magenta and your lemon yellow.
Yeah.
You've got purple with your cyan and your magenta.
Oh, you're so good with colours.
But then you've got your black there if you want to, you know, just to do, like you were saying, your shading or your outlining. So
I feel like with the black I want to get a quill pen.
I was practising with someone gave me a glass one.
Oh, nice.
I'm dipping it in and doing it that way. That was perfect, because I could take the lid off and put it straight in without
I like
too
that.
much.
Reminds me of school, actually. I used to love that. That is... Oh, yes, and you're also getting your pad. This time it's A3. This is a watercolour one. And you do also get some pipettes, but ours have gone walkabout, so you will get 3 of them.
And that is a heavier weight. I know they call it paper, but it isn't. It is a card. I mean, that's something like 290 GSM. Hence why the printer paper I was over the moon about, because I wouldn't get that through my printer.
Right.
So it's a heavier weight card.
Yeah. Excellent. So that is $34.99. I got a £9 saving, 817130. And then we have got a pick and mix of your brush pens. You can choose any 3, so you might want to go for a selection of greens or a selection of blues. Right, so the first one then that we've got is our primaries. Then we've got the pastel, yellow, red, autumn, yeah, you can see that actually. Then you've got your greens, and then down to the bottom we have got the greys, which are down there. These are the earth shades, green and blue, violet, beige pink, and another blue. So you can pick any, how many sets was it? Oh, 3 sets, excellent. So you'll get 15 pens in total, £26.99 with an £11 saving. Item number is 625401. Oh, and Meg's asking, I'm so standard, Meg. Meg's asking me which ones I'd go for. Violet, of course I would. Hang on, moving up. I quite like the, I quite actually like the pastel ones. I like those, and I like the primaries as well. Oh, I did not realise this. Thank you, Lou. Excellent stuff. So in with the primaries, you will get that blender pen. £26.99 for any 3 sets. Right, I'm going to hand back to you, Lou.
Right, you were saying about your Ecoline pipettes.
Yeah.
I've just pulled mine out of the packet. So you get 3 pipettes, and the reason why you get the extra pipettes is that when we get the nozzle here,
yeah,
I'm just going to take the ink out. That will go down so far into your bottle, but it won't go all the way down into the very, very bottom. Now, that's not stopping you tipping it out if you want to do, but if you want a little bit more control, you've then got the pipettes to go in, and you would just squeeze it, and it would just go up the tube.
Right.
And that's why the pipettes are there. So it's so you get every last little dribble.
Yes, we do not want to waste a single speck.
No. Right, so what I thought we'd do this time round, to clear out space, is have a play with the printer paper.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And do something in a journal page. Because, as I said, I want the people to realise watercolours, you can still do all the techniques we want to do with them. So these are my doodles on a piece of paper.
I love your doodles.
And they're just a selection of different types of leaves. Don't look at that one, because I don't like that one. So I'm just going to put my hand subtly over there. And now what I can do is, if I want to... I could have traced this, which... I've got a terrible habit of doing. I just grab my tracing paper, take it, trace it and carry on going. But now I can scan it into my computer and carry on going. Now, I'm not using a scan mode, I'm just using photocopy because I don't want to log into a computer and everything like that.
Yeah.
But what I am just going to check is I haven't got it on 99 copies because I kept pressing that by mistake yesterday, sort of thing. So if I just press, that's it, should hopefully go through. So now, if we were doing this from my computer, I could actually now just set all my page up.
Yeah.
And I do mine in Word. I don't do anything fancy
I don't.
all.
Yeah, Word for me.
Because I can work out with just as simple as that sort of thing. And you can bring PNGs and things like that into there.
Yeah.
Right, so this is warming up.
Okay, that's all right.
Here we go. She says, let's move that. So now, with an inkjet printer, it's a little bit different. Now, the lines have come out very, very light, but that's how I wanted it, because from my original drawing, as you can see there. But with a laser jet, the heat of a laser jet seals the ink straight away. All we need to do with this is we do actually just need to heat set it.
Got you.
So I'm just trying to keep it off my blending mat below.
Oh, yeah, of course,
that's why I'm waving it in the air.
That's all right. That's all
I have
good.
got another mat there. You know, when you just think, oh, by the time I get it out, lay it on top.
Absolutely. And so that print paper, of course, you'll find with the one-day special.
So all I'm doing is I'm just heat setting this ink so I can use it straight away. Now, if you're uber organised, you could do this the night before.
Yeah.
You know, and leave it till the next day. So now I can take, I won't colour it all in because obviously, I can now take my pens. And let's grab a yellow as well.
Ah, yeah. And they just look so juicy and nice to
the
work
outline, I mean, I should have done it in a black outline, sorry to everybody.
Oh, that's
but
all right.
the outline is not going to blend into one another. So I can pull that into the yellow and go over the top.
Yeah.
And I can still do all my blending straight away. And that was one of the, that's when I was prepping and I was like, oh, why am I sitting here tracing everything when I can actually scan it, and then I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. So if you were doing a big project, you can now have all the ability to do that. So that's with the water brush. So
look at that blend though, it's delicious.
So if I do the same, but I'll grab the blender pen this time.
Got you.
So with the water, I love the fact that I can add loads of water on because I do like the washed out look.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better explain.
No,
you know, when you just go, the washed out look. I'm not sure that's quite, you know, gives it justice. But what the blender pen does, so the blender pen is water with a little bit of glycerin. So you've got all of that in the pen, and it allows you to have a lot more control. Now, mine is used, you can see there, and the nib is really dirty. That doesn't matter.
No, so it won't...
It won't affect it.
Okay.
So I can pick some of the green up, and I can go through, and I can go through the yellow. So I'm doing exactly the same as that.
Yes.
The only difference is I haven't got as much water on, and I can be a little bit more precise.
Yeah.
So if you love the watercolour look, but it's a great starting tool because you can see how much you want to use to blend it out. And I can go over the top, so it works that way. But then all I need to do is just clean it,
Yeah,
and
scribble
it's
it
ready
out.
to go there. And I can carry on. So I could, if I wanted to, if this is on the printer paper, I'm just going to grab a bit of green. You can pick your blender pen. You can pick some colour up on your blender pen.
And again, that won't ruin it.
And it won't ruin it.
Excellent.
And I can now. I've got a lighter version straight away.
So again, you've got choices.
You've got
options.
choices. So
Yeah.
I've still got colour on there. I'm going to pick a little bit of the yellow, and I can add the yellow now to it. And I've got. So it's, the blender pen allows you to be brave.
Yeah.
If you know you're not. I mean, I will. Like I said, I do water and stuff like that. But it gives you that start, so you can start bringing all your watercolour effects in. And then I'm just going to clean it off.
Yeah.
And the pen is good to go from there.
Fabulous. And also we can see that that paper is not buckling, or it's really takes stuff well.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was how I did my doodle. But in the same breath, what you can do was I coloured mine in. There's all my coloured ones.
Nice. Look at that blend.
So these are all the ones
Yeah.
I did from that original sketch. If I move that one out there, you can see them better. So that was the original sketch I did.
Right.
And then I've coloured them all in, and well, you don't need the lizard just yet. And then you cut it out. But before I did that, I actually then put these through the printer. So that's my coloured version, and I printed it straight onto the printer paper.
Right.
Because it's watercolour, I can carry on going with it. So you don't just have to use it like this. I could bring in gel mediums. So if I put a gel medium on the top, I've made these glossy before I cut them out. Or I can add in other colours and carry on blending. So if I put like a touch of blue, because obviously yellow and blue make green, and I can carry on going on the top, and I can still do my watercolour techniques straight away.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be. So you can do it in colour. If I go right off the outside, you can see it'll carry on working, even though I've printed in colour. You just have to let it dry. But I can carry on with my normal water, and I just want. So you could do that. So if you were doing a bigger project, you could print it all out in colour, and then overlay with even more colours.
I like that. Yeah.
That you wanted
to do. You could keep going, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was like a ooh, like an ooh moment.
Can't
sort
put
of
it
thing.
down. Keep playing.
Yeah. So I've got loads of them. I got a bit, as you can see, I got a bit carried away
Yes, you've
printing
been having
out.
fun.
Yeah,
That's good.
But talking about printing, last night I was doing a koi demonstration, but I did it all grayscale.
Right.
So I just printed it out black and white, and then I've added colour.
I like that. Yeah.
So you can take all your different images, you can still do all your watercolouring techniques, and then all I've done is I've added a gel medium on the top to make it glossy.
Oh yeah.
To make it look like the gloss can. There we go.
Yeah, and we should still have the gel medium on the.
Yeah, we should
show.
do.
Yeah.
But we had the metallic kois on, and you could put that over the top as well.
Right.
So I can actually keep building and building and building and building.
And sparkle pens too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know your sparkle pens. I know. You know, you just go, oh, sparkle pens. Right. So I'm going to just do in my journal, because I thought it'd be nice. I'm just going to clean that ink
I
away.
love your journals.
I've started a new one. Oh, I had to. You know, you just go, I had to.
Now, what sort of paper is that, actually?
This is like a cotton paper.
Oh, all right.
So it will act totally differently. I'm going to get out, because I started half a page there. Let's move them out of the way, because you don't really need to see them. So it's like a cotton paper, and I can do lots of different things in it. So I'm just trying to work out what we're going to work on. Oh, you know when you go, I think we'll do a little bit of both. I think if we do a bit on the material and a bit on there.
That'd be nice to see the difference, actually.
Yeah, what I'm going to do, though, is I just want to put a bit of tissue behind. And the only reason I'm putting tissue behind is I don't want the colour to go all the way through the next page.
Yeah.
So I can have a little bit. But that doesn't matter if it does. So I'm going to put a little bit of gesso on here.
Okay.
Because because it's a material, I just want it to have a bit of a tooth.
Yes.
And I'm going to use the brayer, because then that way, well, I would if my brayer was. Get the paintbrush, Louise, it'd be a lot easier.
All good.
You know when you just go, get the paintbrush. My brayer's still got lots, it's sticky. That's why I flew it and put too much out. Dreadful. So let's do that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a little bit here so you can see how they react on top of each other.
So a bit of the gesso this side, yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that. And I squeezed again too much. That's where a pot is so much better for me. because I can then just put my paintbrush in. So I'm not going to do too much because I think it'd be nice just to see where it goes. So I'm just going to quickly put that in some water. Just going to quickly dry this off. It won't take 2 seconds.
That's all good. There you go.
Without phonetically waving the heat gun around like some loony.
It's all good. Details just come onto the screen there if you do want to get hold of that gesso. It's a different one to the one Luke's using, but if you want one...
It's from the same company. Yeah. Exactly. I'm using the one in the tube, not in the tub, but it's exactly the same quality.
Excellent. And it's also coming to you with the glazing medium as well for £9.94 with a £6.04 saving. That's quite specific. 323235 is your item number.
Right.
Back to you, Luke.
So I've got the different things there. So I can now, I'm going to direct colour, and I'm not going for a nice background, if that makes sense. I want to go for a really washed out, messy background. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the gesso here, as you can see, because this is a different type of paper, the gesso will allow this to work in a different way.
Yeah.
So if I put it on over here, because it's a cotton paper, it will soak in my watercolour. Can you see?
Quite quick, yes.
Quite quickly. So I don't have the same movement. Also, because it's cotton paper, it's starting to pill a bit, but I don't mind that, actually. It looks quite cool.
Texture.
Yeah. So I just want to do... I will build up the background properly in between shows.
Sure.
You know, when you just go... And this is why you see a lot of us use gesso, but you don't have to use gesso. We could, you know... You can get clear gesso as well if you didn't want the white background, because the white takes away the intensity a little bit. So so you can still do. So I want to put some on here and blend it out. So as I said, you don't have to use your watercolours just, you know, on the watercolour paper.
Absolutely. All sorts of different mediums.
So as you can see there, I'm just pulling it out on the paper. I'm making a mess here. I will turn this into something. You know, when you just go...
It's all good, having a play.
It is, and I just, as I said, I just want to show, you know, how the watercolours will work. So, and this is on a material.
Yeah.
It'll take a little bit longer to dry on the material than it will do on the paper. So let's bring in a blue-green. I'm quite in love with the blue-greens.
They are lush, aren't they?
Oh, they're just...
Oh, look at that.
They're just... Oh.
Nice.
Blue is probably one of my favourite colours anyhow. But, so I can sit there and do that one there. Let's do a little bit more up here.
Yeah.
And it's still, I haven't lost the intensity of it because of the way the pens are done, and they're dye-based with the gum arabic in there, and that will just extend their colour. Let's do a little bit of yellow. I don't want that yellow. I want the, actually, let's go burnt umber.
Well, it's nice if you've got the complete collection, because you've got
I know.
colours.
It's the complete collection is a luxury, but it allows you to create without having to think about blending, and that's why I like it as well. Because sometimes when you're in the, sometimes it doesn't bother you, and you just go, why not? So I would carry on building and building the background up. I'm going to put that there, but I'm going to. Oh look, I've got water everywhere. I'm going to bring in the stencils again because I can, and let's go for that blue-green. What else blue-greens have I got? Oh, there's loads over there. You know, I'm just looking at my pen set going, and I'm just going to add a little bit of water. The only reason I'm adding the water is because I'm using the sponge, and I just want the sponge to soak it up.
Definitely, yeah.
And I'm going to bring in a little bit of stenciling.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is now on the burlap. The gel mediums as well, you can put on top to seal your watercolours. So you don't have to just... As I was saying last night, you don't have to just think of gel mediums going through a stencil. Mix them with your inks.
Yeah.
Paint them directly onto images, and it will seal your watercolours. If you use a gloss, you get a beautiful glossy finish.
Nice. Look at that.
So we can do, let's do one more there. So, and this is so far, normally we'd get our acrylics out. But this was just, I just wanted to say that you could create in lots of different ways. So let's put that there, file that. And then I just want to get a stamp in. Oh, let's go for a different colour.
What a contrast.
Oh, yeah, you know, we just go, I think I might go for a yellow, because that will be a contrast, but I want to go for this deep yellow. Or have I gone for...
So,
yeah, I have sand
so we
yellow.
can paint onto the stamp.
So I'm going to paint onto the stamp.
Lovely.
If I spritz it with water, it's going to be more water-based. So I'm just trying to remember where the electrics are.
So, yeah,
you know, I'm just thinking where the electrics are. So I can sit there and I can start building up a background. So you don't have to bring your ink. So now I'm using all the colours that I've started with, and...
Well, it ties it in then, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's what I think.
And you've got them all there. If I didn't spritz this, all that would happen is I would just get a true outline. But the spritzing allows me to add a little bit more detail. So let's put a little bit more there. You know when you just go, ooh. And you can keep spritzing and spritzing until you've got like a next to nothing. Why waste it?
Absolutely.
As over on my hands is proving. So we've got that there. So I'm just going to file that one over there. So now, in my head, I'm just going to quickly dry.
Sure.
So the original plan was to use those leaves, wasn't it?
I've gone off on a tangent.
I wanted a background for the leaves, to be quite frank.
Just while you're drying that, the complete collection, which most of you are going for, you've got the 10 sets of colours from the one-day special, but then you've also got 50 other colours. You can see this fabulous swatch, which Lou's done for us, which is a true representation of those colours. These are the additional colours, there you are. And then you've also got the swatch for the original colours. And, you know, we all appreciate this is a considered purchase, but they are extremely juicy. They're going to really last you a good amount of time. And we have spread the cost for you 3 times instead of twice. So again, it's sort of, we're trying to make it as affordable for you as possible. It's 3 payments of £34.33, and it works out at about £1.72 per pen. And normally you'd think probably about £3 per pen. So we've, you know, shaved off a decent amount. It's 585022. That's your item number. Back to you, Lou.
Right, so I just thought I've got to add a little bit of pink in. Sorry. You know when you just go...
No, it's playing. It's good.
It's playing. Right, so that's that there. So I can do that way. I'll do my wording last. So these were all my leaves. So what I wanted to do was create like a tropical theme.
It looks good.
And have my background there so I can layer up all my different leaves in lots of different ways.
But look at the light and shade you've got going on in these leaves.
But that was just, that's blending, and the original was done on the watercolour card. So let's move these around.
You've got about 8 minutes, Lou.
Oh, I should get done. Which one do I want? I want the, let's go for the gloss. I'm going to use it as a glue at the moment. But now, where's my thingy? But you can, what we can do, and I'll show you what I have done, because obviously I'm just going to put this on my back there to stick it down. I will go back through and stick all these properly, but otherwise sticking something like this is going to take forever.
All good. Are you able to just move your paper pad slightly to the right?
Sorry.
No, it's all good, it's all good.
I forgot to look in the monitor and go work out where I was.
Don't you worry.
So let's just do a bit there.
I have to say, with your glossy medium, it's a decent old tub, isn't it?
It's a huge tub, and I've used mine a lot. A little goes a long way, or maybe I'm just tight. You know, when you just go, maybe I'm just tight, really. So I'm just going to put a few more here. So where I printed those out, so where I've got my page here, and I've done all these designs, and suddenly I go, I haven't got enough leaves, because I could actually print them out in colour and then go over them again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then I could change the colours, make them darker, make them lighter. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It made prepping an absolute joy, I must admit, you know, because other than that, I was thinking, no, I don't want to put that one there. I want to put that one hiding underneath there a little bit. And then I've got a little one. So it took my doodles, I could then, you know, go further and further and further and further, as you can see. So I'm just building up a jungly theme, because, let's put that one there.
Yeah.
So everything so far on this page has all been done with the watercolours.
That's it, yeah.
And a bit of gesso, sorry.
Yeah.
I fibbed. Now what I did do was I stamped out the lizard, and I have cut him out.
I love him.
But he has been coloured with the Ecolines.
Yeah.
And then I have used glossy accents down the middle, because I I just didn't want to paint all those bits in, if I'm being 100% honest. It was a little bit, but that was all done, and that's done with all the different vibrancy, and that was done on the card, not the paper this time. But I could actually put him, if I wanted to, on the scanner there, the copy, and I have a copy of it.
Yes.
If I, you know, but then I think if I was going to do him again, I think I might do him different colours.
Different colours, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
She says. So I've got, so I just want him to be amongst the leaves a little bit. I want him to stand out, but not...
Is that a stamp that we've got on the website?
It's a Clever Prints one,
Oh,
and from Emma Blake. So I think it should be...
Yeah, I thought I recognised that.
Yeah. I just love the image.
Yeah.
That and the Kermit, her parrot. I think it's just so cool.
Yeah.
But it was a toy up with this one, or the Frida Frog as well, because I thought that would go with this sort of image. Right, so I've just got a few more leaves I can add on. I would trim bits off. I would add, you could add loads of more embellishments, do you know what I mean? Let's put another one. I'll trim that one. No, I won't. This is where I'm now being indecisive. Let's put another one just there, and I'll trim that off. Yeah. But what I'm going to do is quickly grab a block. Now, I might not get smooth because this is, obviously, I'm working in a journal.
And you've gessoed it as well.
And I've gessoed it. Well, also, it's all the rubbish behind. Well, it's not rubbish, it's a bit there. So let's go for, I want to go for a word. So I'm going to use the black this time. And I'm just going to go and put it over the top. And we'll just do one word. And... if it's smoothish, you know, I'm trying to find a smoothish area. So if this doesn't come out clear, it's because of all the layers I've got in my book, not the stamp. So I can actually
that's fine. That's great.
So that is now taking the stamp with the watercolour. If I spritzed it, I'm going to get a lighter look, but I can... So you can bring in... So all we brought in is a bit of gesso, gel medium.
Yeah.
And do it that way.
It'll just, because it's watercolour, it'll just wash off with water, won't it? Won't harm the stamp or anything.
So I could take a little bit of the... If you're going to use your paintbrushes, all I'm going to say is wash it straight away.
Yeah, they end up with a stick. Yeah.
But with the gel medium, if I really want these glossy, I could go over parts of the leaf. So it's going to, you're not going to see it now, but when I come back at 12, I'll show it then. So I can actually... So you don't have to just use it through stencils. You can... You know, pick out little bits that you want to highlight. Definitely. I will stick all these down.
Yeah.
And just say, so I might as well just use that bit up, but do wash your brush.
Definitely.
Straight away.
Yes.
But that was, so I just wanted to show people that, you know, you could, the watercolours, whether the inks or whatever, you could do exactly the same.
Yeah.
And one of the samples there I've got up there is a picture, this one.
That one?
No, I think it's on the stand, sorry, by, that, I think that one there.
This one?
Yeah, so that one is a background. I did the jelly plate, you know, like we did before.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
cool.
then what I did was I actually used gel medium through the stencil and then went back on the jelly plate and then over-coloured.
Right.
So it was just to show lots of different ways that you can use the pens.
Definitely.
And the stencil, like I did with the blending sponge. You can create all your journal pages.
I love you showing so many techniques. Obviously, as well, Lou was on last night at 6 o'clock for the launch and 8 o'clock. Go and have a little look at those, because there's just, you know, your possibilities with these pens.
There are so much, but you don't, like I said, you've still got the pops of colour, the blender pen if you don't feel quite as brave as I do.
Yeah.
But you can, you know, you can create. You can go wherever your type of crafting is.
Yes. Yes, I know what you mean, like, because we're all drawn to different styles.
Yeah, we are totally drawn to different styles. Whether you want to colour images, so for example, in this book here, I'm trying to see so I don't get everything everywhere. Let's see it that way. That is all done with Ecolines.
Right.
All the images.
Yeah.
So you can still stamp out your images, cut them out, and if you're a traditional stamper and you like those, but these are all coloured with Ecolines as well, so you can take them into lots of different ways that you want to go.
They're a real staple, aren't they, for your crafty stash?
And once you get into them,
you're going to basically
love them.
Not put them down. There you go. Now, the majority of you are going for the complete collection. Again, have a lovely look at these swatches. You've got all your light yellows, deep yellows, then we go into lemons. There's all those different shades that you have to play with here, and you can see how they, you know, you can water them out, you can use them just as they are with that lovely intensity. So those are your what was it, the originals, I couldn't think of the word. And then these ones are the additional, because then we go into some really nice sort of pastel-y colours, liking these. There you go. Very nice. And then again, just have a look at the brush nib. I have taken this one for the one day special, but you do get them in here as well, these lovely colours. And as I said, I had a little play with them, and they glide. Trying to get the lid on. That's it. They glide beautifully. Like I said, I don't brush letter, I just wrote my name. But look, you can see, and they're just so juicy as well, you know.
They have got a lovely intensity.
They have, yeah.
Of colour.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the vibrancy. I'm not a dark colour person. I do like to make the colours,
yeah,
you know, pop as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, look at this beautiful, beautiful sample. Oh yes, blender pen as well. Have a look at this. There you go. So you've got choices with how you've got control with the blender pen.
You have total control.
Yeah.
Well, as you saw when I was doing the images before, it allows you to have all those beautiful watercolour effects. But you don't have to worry about the water. The biggest mistake we all seem to make is we all think we take the water off the brush, but we forget that around the collar, we might have a water droplet, and then that drops into your brush, and then that's when it goes.
Right, lovely. Thank you so much, Lou. We will see you at 12 p.m. Details on screen. Then you can spread the cost. 3 payments of £34.33 for the complete collection. 585022, or of course go for the one day special where you get that lovely 10 set. Yes, thanks very much again, Lou. Right, don't go anywhere. I'm going to hand the reins now over to our lovely Catherine. Stay tuned. Ooh, something a little bit different coming up. Make sure you're staying tuned. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. And then, of course, we are still celebrating Studio Light's 41st birthday, followed by Daisy Chain Designs.
Did you know you can watch Hochanda 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free using our app on Roku? Just like your smartphone accesses an app store to add new applications, your Roku streaming player or Roku TV accesses the Roku channel store to add new channels. By downloading the Hochanda channel, you'll be able to access your favourite craft channel on your TV anytime you want to watch. Here's how to do it. Turn on your TV and connect your Roku device. Next, turn the power on and press the home button on your Roku remote. Scroll up or down to select Settings. Select your network and select Setup Connection. Roku uses a wireless connection, so select your router name and add your password. This should be on the side or the bottom of your router. If this is the first time using Roku, then you'll need to set up an account on the device or by going to the Roku website. That's it. Now it's time to add the Hochanda app. Simply press the home button on the Roku remote. Scroll up or down using the arrows on your remote to select streaming channels. Then open the channel store. At the top of the channel store, you'll find a list of featured, new and popular categories to explore. Enter Hochanda into the search bar and this will take you to the Hochanda app. Now simply select Add Channel. When you see the added channel screen, press OK and return to the home page. Now scroll down to the Hochanda app and press the star button on your remote. You can then use the arrow buttons to move Hochanda to the top of the screen for quick and easy access. And that's it! You can now watch, purchase and catch up with your favourite shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your TV whenever you feel crafty.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil Martin. I've been a paper crafter for well over 20 years now and a designer for just over 10 years. Sentimentally Yours is my multi-award winning brand of clear stamps, rubber stamps. I've now also introduced lots of craft dyes in there, designer papers. I have my mediums where we've introduced the Flawless Media brand into the Sentimentally Yours family. So on our Hochanda shows we aim to inspire you, to be educational and to teach you how to get the most from the products that we're bringing to you. The Sentimentally Yours family has grown to include my good friend Julia Watts and our new designer Trudy Howard. Hopefully we're all going to bring something different to the show, so you're going to be enriched with lots of different ideas and inspiration. Be sure to join us for our Sentimentally Yours shows on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils, the Craft Station Limited. We're a craft retailer and we specialise in stainless steel stencils. Our stencils are manufactured in metal. This allows us to have designs that are intricate. We also have new products coming on board, our craft bonds, our pole drops, and our acrylic paints are joining us. We've recently joined Hochanda and we're really excited. This allows us to demonstrate and show our products. We know customers like seeing the demonstrations, so make sure you tune in and don't miss the Sweet Poppy shows on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Paul Church from Clarity Stamp. I've been fortunate enough to turn my hobby into a career and joined Clarity Stamp in January 2016. My background has always been in crafting and I enjoy making things and sharing things. That's what crafting's all about for me, making things and sharing with others, and also learning all the time. At Clarity Stamp we bring you a wide range of products from stamps, stencils, groovy and percamano. And the great thing about that is that it covers crafters from all different aspects. So whether you're into stamping, stenciling, parchment craft, we've got it covered at Clarity Stamp. So I hope you can tune in and join the Clarity team on Hochanda.
Hello and a very good morning to you. Do you know what? Just lately I've been saying quite often, what a way to start the day. And it's no exception today because we've got another brand new supplier here at Hochanda. This is a very special hour. We've got Sian Ellen Designs for you. Brand new guest as well. Sian's here in the studio. Wonderful designer. When you're thinking about home decor, your lampshades, your wallpapers, that sort of thing, that's all incorporated into Sian's business. But we're going to look at some very special fabrics today as well. I've got to introduce her. She's here, ready and waiting. I am so excited about this hour. A very good morning to you, Sian. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning.
I am so excited about this hour.
Yeah, me too.
I saw a preview on our Facebook page and I thought, you know, those designs are absolutely stunning. And then when I found out I was presenting the show, I was so excited about it.
Oh, that's really kind of you.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
designs are gorgeous. And the first thing that struck me, Sian, when I walked into the studio and looked at the fabrics, you can see straight away the sheer quality of what we've got here.
Yeah, so they're all printed in the UK, so it's all British made, completely UK manufactured fabrics. And everything, all of the fabrics I hand draw or paint myself as well. So it's all kind of created by me to begin with and then digitally printed in the UK. So the quality of the fabrics really are fantastic.
Amazing. And the brightness of the fabrics, we've got beautiful mustards in there, we've got navy blue in there, you've got the whites and the blush colour in the theme that we've got running through here today. They are absolutely stunning. Now, I've got to ask, where do you get your inspiration from?
So this collection actually, so this is all part of one collection called the American Folk Collection. So this is all inspired by a trip that I went on to Peru, and it's kind of like a combination between that inspiration and I'm really inspired by Scandinavian design and lots of the kind of classic Scandinavian great designers from like the 30s to the 50s. And also really inspired by William Morris as well. So there's kind of like taking inspiration from him and his kind of approach to pattern making and the arts and crafts movement. So it's kind of a combination of inspirations. But yeah, this particular collection is the American Folk Collection.
It is absolutely beautiful. Well, if you're liking what you're seeing, wait until you see the products we have got available across the hour. Now, I'm just going to ask Sian one or two more questions. And, of course, if anybody's got any questions at home, do email in studio@hochanda.com and we will put those questions as far as possible we can to Sian this morning as well. Now, Sian, a little bit more about your business. So when did it all start? How long have you been established? How did you find yourself here at Hochanda?
So I started the business in 2012, so yeah, quite a few years ago now. And I've always worked in creative industries.
Yeah.
I started off as a graphic designer, which is why a lot of my designs are actually quite graphic in their nature. So I started work as a graphic designer in book publishing, and I did that for about 6 years, and I was always trying to find ways to kind of illustrate things and do more pattern making, and I thought, well, hang on, what is this kind of pattern making? I want to do that for a living, and kind of discovered that you could do it for a living, not knowing really before that you could. And then in 2012 I just set it up on my own, kind of left my full-time job and started my business from
you
scratch.
must be very proud of yourself.
Yes, it's been a bit of a journey since then, but
I bet.
really exciting.
I bet. Now, I was looking at a brochure of yours actually, and well, I wasn't surprised to find that you've been featured on lots of television channels, lots of magazines as well. In fact, over 150 magazines you've been featured in. And we're talking big names here. We're talking when it comes to television, ITV, BBC. One of my favourite programmes, actually, Grand Designs. I know you've been featured in Grand Designs as well. And we're talking about sort of these home decor magazines, Home Beautiful, Homes and Gardens, that sort of thing as well. So you must feel as though you've achieved an awful lot in a short space of time, really.
Yeah, I think I've had a lot of recognition for my designs, which is really lovely, in those kind of big names and magazines, and it's been fantastic, I think, over the years to see it published in print and see it inspiring people to kind of buy sort of certain schemes and designs that I've put together, and to see that kind of in those sort of trend-led magazines is, yeah, it's been fantastic.
Oh, amazing. And of course that journey is going to continue. Now, of course, we're going to see much more, Sian, as we go through the hour. We're going to tell you about the products as well, of course. Now, there was a competition running as well on our Facebook page, if you have seen that. I'm sure many of you have. Your chance to win a lampshade, actually. And we've got the name of the winner now. I can do that right now. Glynis Middleton, if you're watching, you are the winner of our competition. I believe that the lamp that's right next to me is the lampshade that you're actually going to win, so well done. But for anyone that absolutely loves this lampshade and all the designs that we've got here in the studio, you can also own one of these yourself. In fact, you can grab one of those kits to make one yourself. And we've got the details on the screen there for you. Now, we've got various different designs. So the different fabrics, of course, they've all got their own names. So we'll go through those fabrics, we'll go through those names. And of course, when it comes to the lampshade kit, there is an opportunity to buy more than one as well. We do have a Flexi buy option. The one we're looking at the moment, of course, it's going to contain absolutely everything you need. Now let's go through these fabrics. This is Flora Gold Blush, so you can see that isn't white, you've got that very sort of gentle pink in there. It works so beautifully. So there we are, that's the first colour. We shall move along and see what else we've got. Ellen Gold Oxford Blue. Now I think this is actually my favourite. If I really had to stick my neck out, I do like them all, but I think this is my favourite. Then moving along, we've got Nazca Gold. This is beautiful as well. Very fresh looking, isn't it? Look at those designs. Beautiful. You can see the Eastern inspiration there as well from that design. We've got Desert Fleur Multi-Necks. So you've got the best of everything there. You've got the blush in there, you've got the blues in there, you've got the mustard in there as well. Absolutely stunning on that light background. Then we've got Ellen Oxford Blue Blush. Oh, now then. Is that my favourite? Maybe it is. It's that design I'm drawn to, but the colours, again, are beautiful, aren't they? And then we've got Flora Cobalt Blue. So you can see there, a little slightly smaller design, but really bold still, absolutely striking. The colours are stunning. I think you're picking up as well, just looking at the screen, the quality, the sheer quality of this fabric as well. Printed here in the UK, manufactured in the UK, as we've heard. There we are. So when it comes to the kit, when you choose your lampshade kit, you are going to get more than just the fabric, of course. I'm going to ask Sian what you're actually getting. I have got a kit that's all laid out in front of me, but I'm going to see if Sian can unbox one for us, or at least go through everything that you do get included. So, Sian, what do we get? Obviously, we're going to get the full instructions as well, so nobody's going to be going into this blindly. So is this something someone could start with if they've never made something before, they've never done a lampshade before? Could they unbox this and get going? Is it easy enough for everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really fantastic gift because actually it's something that you can do from any kind of crafting ability. So if you're somebody that is new to crafting, it's a perfect thing to do because it's a little bit challenging, but it's not so challenging that it's impossible to do. And it's also really good for people who are experienced crafters as well. So if we have a little look in the box.
Okay, lovely.
So this is how the box comes. And each box has a label on it depending on the design that it comes with. If you just have a little look. So it comes with a roll of PVC, so that's the bit that actually makes the lampshade. That's the kind of the structure of the shade.
Lovely.
And then it comes with 2 lampshade rings. So this lampshade ring is for the light fitting.
Lovely.
And then that's the other side of the lampshade as well. So you kind of adjust this and use this in whether you want a ceiling or a table lampshade. So you need to think about that when you're making it.
Yes, yeah.
And then it also comes with some sticky tape, so some double-sided sticky tape.
Okay, so that's the really high-tack one.
Really, really, really high-tack. So actually it's really good because it is super high-tack and it's used to kind of stick the seam and also used to roll the fabric around the shade as well. But it will remove, so it's kind of quite versatile. So if you go wrong, it's quite easy to peel back and stick back on again.
Wonderful.
And then it also comes with a tool. So this is the tool that enables you to fold the fabric around the rings and create that kind of rolled lampshade.
Okay, so that's very important.
Yes. And then it also comes with your fabric of choice. So in this instance, this is the Flora Gold fabric.
Lovely.
And then it also comes with instructions. So we've got some step-by-step instructions here. So that's got 12 step-by-step instructions, and it's really kind of simple and easy to follow.
Lovely. So there's absolutely no sewing to do. So even if you're not a soft crafter, you can create something for your own home as well. I've got loads of questions to ask Sian, actually, but I'm going to save those until later through the show. Sian, so the tool that we get in the box, is that the only tool that we will need? Is there anything else other than what we're unboxing there?
No. So that's all you actually need. So it seems like quite a simple box in terms of what's actually included in it, and it's amazing because it can actually produce this fully made lampshade. But yeah, that's all you need to create that rolled seamed edge.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, let's go through the details. Now, on the screen, we've seen, of course, the details for the lampshade kit, 326641. If you're just buying the one kit, it's £40.99. As you can see there, we've got the Flexi buy option as well. You have got all those different choices. You can see those fabrics laid out in front of me here on the table. Each and every one of them is absolutely gorgeous, I've got to say. Now, if you want more than one, perhaps you've got a room with a lamp at each end. Maybe it's a hanging lamp, maybe it is a lamp that's on a base, and you want those to match. Maybe you want to go for 2. Maybe you want 2 different ones. Perhaps you can't choose your favourite fabric and you want, I don't know, the same design but in the different colourways. You can go for 2 lampshades. You're saving a little bit extra here because you're saving £2 for £79.98. You can go for those 2 kits. If you want 2 of the same, you can, as I say. If you want to go for 2 different ones, you certainly can. 636360. Perhaps you want to make one as a gift, actually. That's an idea. Never thought of that at the beginning. Now, perhaps you're loving the fabrics and you think, well, yes, I've just bought a new lamp. I don't actually need that. I'm looking for something else. It's cushions I want, or it's a pelmet for my window. Well, we've got the fabric available as well. So we're just scrolling across all those different fabrics again. Now, these are half meters. Remember, these are 100% cotton, printed here in the UK, manufactured in the UK. Absolutely amazing quality. You will not see any sort of bubbles in the fabric. I looked at this and I could see the weave on it is absolutely incredible. £21.99. If you want to go for more than 1/2 metre, this will be cut in a continuous length for you as well. Maybe you want to go for more than one option, you can certainly do that. So you've got all the different choices there. Running through those different fabrics again, 158387. So that's the details there if you go in for individual 1/2 metres. But we have got other options for you as well. So let's bring some more details up for you. If you want to go for 1 metre, so 2.5 metres, you can certainly do that as well. This is a pick and mix. So with the pick and mix, you can go for 1/2 metre of one, 1/2 metre of another. You can go for multiples, as long as it's in multiples of 2. If you want more than 1/2 metre, of course, you can go for the same fabric. And as I say, it will be a continuous length. £37.98. This is going to save you £6, 440057. But if you want to save even more, we've got that option for you as well. So we've got a pick and mix of choosing any 3. So any 3 1/2 metres, once again, 3 3 different ones, you're entitled to do that. Or if you want 3 the same, you can do that, and again, continuous length. Or maybe you want a metre of one and half a metre of another, whichever way you want to work it. As long as we've got the stocks, you can do that. So for the pick a mix of 3, you can see the details on the screen right now. 2 payments of £27.99. We'll just go over to the website. You can see all the different designs there. All the names are there with the designs as well, so you can see exactly which ones you want. And then, of course, you choose your half-metre pieces, pop them into your basket, and that's it. Once you go to checkout, everything's there, worked out for you. There we are, just adding those to the basket. Right, but you're asking, well, how do I do this? Do you know, if you're not quite convinced yet, if you've never done any sort of home decor for yourself, let's see how easy it is. We're going to head over to Shan and see, now we've unboxed, where we get started with the lampshade kit. Shan, I'm going to hand it right over to you.
Lovely, thank you very much, Catherine. Okay, so what you want to do first is start off with your rolled PVC. So it comes rolled with this plastic casing like this, so you can just cut that off. And then you end up with this nice rolled PVC like this. So that's the bit that's going to create the structure of your lampshade. So it is a little bit difficult because it kind of keeps rolling in on itself. So a really good thing to do is to roll it back the other direction.
Oh, I see, yes.
Yeah, so that's a really good tip because it will stop it from rolling in on itself all the time. So I'll just do that.
And just one roll is enough, is it?
Yeah, just one roll is enough, and you can kind of just give it a bit of a squeeze as long as you don't crease it or anything like that.
Okay.
And then you can see it's kind of lying a bit more flat now, so yeah, it does make a big difference. And what we want to do next is stick this PVC backing onto our fabric panel. So all of the kits come with a fabric panel of your choosing. So the fabric panel is cut to size, so you don't have to cut the fabric panel down.
Amazing.
And the great thing about it as well is that it's cut thinking about where the pattern will sort of sit on the lampshade as well. So if you see these lampshades over here, they've all been kind of designed in order to look at how the pattern is going to fit on that. So each panel is exactly the same, so every shade that you make is going to turn out the same actually.
Oh, so if someone did want to buy 2 the same, one either end of a room, you know the pattern's going to fall in the same place, everything's going to match beautifully.
Yes, it's going to match.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yes, that's really important. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is place our PVC panel onto our fabric. So at this moment, you don't really need to worry at all about the direction of the pattern because you're going to decide if you want it to be a table lamp or a ceiling lamp once we start working with the rings. So at this stage, all we need to do is stick this fabric panel on. And so because the panels have been designed to make sure that that pattern does sit on the shade really well, all you need to do is stick this panel on centrally. So you just need to make sure that the distance around it is the same all the way around. So at both ends and on the top and the bottom as well.
That is quite easy just to eye that through, isn't it, Shan, as well? Because you haven't got an enormous overlap with the fabric there, so you can just eye that through.
Yeah, exactly. So it's much easier to measure, and you know it's going to be. It's quite easy to see as well centrally where it sits.
Perfect.
So what I recommend doing is drawing. So once you've kind of centrally aligned your panel, so you can use a ruler to measure everything. And there's probably going to be about 2 and a bit centimetres either side on the shorter edge.
Okay.
And there'll be about just under a centimetre on the top and the bottom.
Lovely.
So once you've kind of placed that and you're happy with the placement and you're happy that it is in the centre, you're going to draw around it with a pencil. So that's just to make sure that when you then come to stick it on, that you are sticking it on straight.
Yes, yeah, there's no movement allowed then, is there? You can see exactly where you're going with it.
Exactly. So you want to draw all around it. So I've already done that, actually. And then we want to start sticking onto our panel.
Okay. And at this point, of course, it doesn't matter which way up the fabric is, the actual design of the fabric, because you've just got a rectangle. So no need to worry too much at this point, whether you've got the fabric facing you or away from you, as long as you've got it nice and flat and central.
Exactly. So we want to start off by peeling a little bit of the sticky on the back.
Okay.
Like this. If you just peel just a little bit, and we'll just stick the first section just to make sure that we have actually got it in place.
Okay, I can see now why it's important to draw those lines, because if you're starting from the end there, you want to make sure that's nice and neat.
Exactly. So just kind of with one hand, make sure you're lining it up with those lines. And then with the other hand, you can just stick that down. So I'm happy with that. And I just want to, just before I peel the rest of this off, I am just going to check that it does lie within those lines. So I'm happy with that. And then you can get your hand underneath, so get your right hand underneath the panel, and you can move the plastic off the backing and stick as you go.
So just gradually, just peel that away. Don't rush it. This is the point, Shan, I presume, where you just want to take your time, make sure everything's central, everything's lined up, peel away quite steadily, and I can see you're following that down with your hand as well to make sure that, you know, you're getting that nice flat finish. There we go. Oh, that looks nice and easy.
Yeah, so it's very easy. I think it's all about making sure you do that prep and draw your line around it and ensure that it is actually going to be in place.
If someone did get a little crease in their fabric, or they hadn't got that quite right, can you peel that away and go again?
You can. You can peel it away really easily. So as you see, it'll just come off.
Oh, lovely.
Just like that. Yeah.
So it's not as daunting as some people may first consider, because I think that's what makes people a little bit worried, that they think, oh, if I do this wrong straight away, then I've lost everything. You haven't. You've certainly got that time to play with it, to move things around. If you do make an error, certainly you haven't wasted anything at all.
Not at all. And you're absolutely right. You could easily peel the entire thing off and it wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't lose any stick.
Fabulous.
So I'm just going to flip it over just to double check that there aren't any creases in the fabric as well. So, and then give it a good kind of stick down as well. We'll smooth that out. I think the good thing about having the panels cut to size as well is because you don't have too much excess fabric, it eliminates that the possibility of it creasing too, of the fabric creasing.
The other thing as well, we've mentioned the quality a number of times now, Shan, but as you flip that over then, straight away you can see the quality of the fabric. If that wasn't a good quality fabric, you would probably find that the pattern wasn't sitting quite straight. You might see that the weave is a little bit out. You might see a few lumps and bumps in the weave as well. And the design, Shan, is so crisp and clear. The print is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's stunning. It really is.
Okay, so the next thing we want to do is cut. So we've got these excess bits of fabric now going all the way around our panel.
Okay.
So the whole point in the panel, it's really cleverly designed because it's got these kind of snap-back borders on the panel. And that's the bit that's going to allow enough seam in order to roll around the shades.
Oh, I see.
So they're really cleverly designed in that way. So what we want to do is make sure that our fabric is cut to the edges of this panel.
Right,
so that's the perfect amount of seam. But before we cut that off, we're going to leave a centimetre seam down one of these edges, down the short edge. So the reason we're going to do that is because that's going to form the seam when the lampshade is rolled. It's going to form this seam here. So we want that really, really nice.
Right, yes, you want that nice
seam.
and neat, don't you?
Exactly.
Perfect.
So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to actually, just looking at it, if I fold this bit over here, you'll see that the pattern is still left there.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas if I fold it over here, we've got a nice clean edge. So I'm going to fold over that edge, because when we come to wrap the shade, it will overlap this edge here, and it'll be a really nice
match. I see. So because if you use the other end, you may overlap and see a crossover the pattern. It might not line up, and then it would notice much more.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to measure a centimetre down this side.
Okay, this is what I love, Shan, because you have certainly thought about everything. I mean, we're talking quality fabrics, we're talking something that if you're creating it yourself, you want it to look professional, and these certainly look professional. And, you know, I'm going to say it, and I'm certainly not going to name any shops, but there are a number of shops where we can go, we can buy things, you know, for not a lot of money. But if you start to look at those items and you look at the seams on them, you'll see exactly what Sian is purposely trying to avoid there. You will see those crossovers of patterns, and they are noticeable. Especially if you've made something yourself, Sian, as well, and you've got friends coming to your home and you say, oh, I do like your lampshade, or I do like your cushions, or whatever else you've made with the fabric that we've got on offer today. And when they really look, they will look, if they know that you've made that, they will be looking for those sorts of things, and they'll be so impressed with the finish.
I think so as well. I think because the finish is so professional looking, I think it's quite surprising that it's something that you can make yourself.
Now, I've got a lamp next to me, actually, and I've got to say it is absolutely beautiful. This is the Ellen Gold Oxford Blue. I don't know, is it plugged in, this lamp? Oh, it is. Look, we can actually turn it on. I don't know if we can dim the lights so we can see the effect of the fabric there as well. I love the base. I know how that base has been made as well, and it works perfectly. Isn't that lovely? That has got such a lovely warm glow to it, Sian, because of the colour of the fabric, the crisp, beautiful design there as well. You imagine that in your room at night, you know, you've got your room's the decor you've got, and you've got these bold prints. Maybe you've got cushions to match. Maybe you've bought the extra fabric as well, and you've got those accents dotted around. You could. This is a question I wanted to ask actually, Sian. When it comes to home decor, because we look in magazines, we look at the brochures, and we see these beautiful rooms and these beautiful fabrics, but then we look around our own homes and we think, well, is that going to work? What do I need to change? What is your top tip when it comes to beautiful fabrics like this? Because these speak to you, don't they? The designs say everything. What about your walls? What about the colours you put with them? What would you advise?
Well, I think it's really important with schemes to pick a colour palette. So I think that's a really good starting point. And then everything can kind of fall in line with that. So I think the thing about this collection is we've kind of given you two colourways. So you've kind of got a blue colourway or you've got a yellow colourway. And I think they're really classic colourways that are kind of quite classic interior scheme colourways that go with a lot of different paint colours. So if you were kind of choosing the blue colour, the yellow colourway, you might decide that you want to coordinate it with kind of blues and classic greys. So that's a really classic combination. So you could go with kind of grey walls and lots of yellow accessories. And again, the same with the blue accessories. You could coordinate those with the yellow and also with grey again. So I think it's really important to decide what your colour scheme is. And I think in terms of picking colour palettes, it's about picking sort of 3 to 5 colours within a scheme and deciding what are going to be the hero colours. So that might be yellow, for instance. What are going to be the kind of supporting colours, and then what might be your accent colours. So your accent colours are going to be the things that are the things you use less and are there that are brighter and add an accent or a little bit of excitement or something a little bit unusual to the rest of the scheme.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I think it's really important to just kind of figure out what your colour scheme is first and then design around that.
Yeah. Perfect. So anyone at home who's thinking of redecorating, you're loving what you're seeing here and you're thinking, yes, I'm going to go for a lampshade. Maybe you are going for the fabric as well. You want 1 or 2 little cushions scattered around. Maybe it's a footstool, or perhaps, do you know, think about your upcycling as well. I've got a cushion here behind me, actually. I'm trying not to lean back on it too much because I don't want to squash it because it's so nice. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. But I'm thinking as well, Sian, I love upcycling and things like, I often say, if you look out for little side tables or coffee tables that are a bit battered around, you can put a top on them, put some sponge or some wadding on the top, make a seat out of them. I can imagine these just as seat covers on stools and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our customers have done things like that, and I think the fabric is perfect for dining stools. If you find old stools that you want to give a new lease of life, it's perfect for something like that. And I think as well with colours too, if you've got something yellow, so say for instance you bought the yellow Ellen lampshade, you don't have to match all of the yellows perfectly, so I think it's really nice to have shades of yellow within a scheme, so you don't need to worry too much about finding that exact yellow. I think you can find other accessories that are kind of within that colour range.
Tip.
Yeah, it's a really nice layered look and it sort of adds that bit of sophistication.
Oh, I like that, because sometimes we do get a little bit worried about finding things that match exactly, don't we?
Yeah.
These are absolutely stunning. We're just looking at one or two more samples as well. Just while you're looking at those, of course, details are flipping up around on the screen. We've got different options for you. When it comes to the lampshades, we've got choices of just the one set. We've got choices of the two sets. You can go for two the same or two different ones. Perhaps you want to make to gift, or maybe you want to gift an actual set for somebody to make their own as well. I think if you make one of these, your friends are all going to want one as well. But you've got those different options of fabric, so you can choose very, very carefully. Or just choose whichever one you're drawn to. And of course, when it comes to lampshades, whether you're hanging them or you're putting them on a base, then you've got the choice. You can go out and find those bases to work, or as we've said, you could upcycle something. You know, think about all the different mediums we've got available, so you could decorate the base to go with the fabric. I just love it. The more I look at these fabrics, the more I'm falling in love with them, actually. I've got another question for you, Sian, actually, just before I go through anything else with you. When it comes, I live in a very, very old cottage, and I've always been a believer of kind of being very sympathetic to the age of the building that you live in. But actually, that's not always the case, because when you look through the home magazines, you can see old buildings but very modern interiors. How would you suggest someone, if they live, you know, somewhere where maybe the decor is a little bit more traditional, but they then want to go more modern? They're loving what they're seeing here and they want to bring that modern sort of contemporary twist into it. How would you say they can go about doing that? Can you mix the traditional with the modern quite easily?
Yeah, so definitely. I'm such a massive fan of old and new. I think it's a really lovely combination, and I think that you shouldn't be scared to mix traditional stuff with contemporary stuff at all. And I think the thing about our designs as well is that because they're inspired by quite traditional design masters such as William Morris, but with that modern twist, they kind of sit quite nicely in between those two things. So they've got a modern twist because they're graphic and the colours that they use, but some of the approaches to the patterns are quite traditional. And I think it's just a really lovely thing to see, and I think it makes sense, because why wouldn't you want to mix the two things? And I think mixing those two things actually creates a really kind of sophisticated look. And I think particularly if you've got kind of old things in your house that are quite meaningful to you, that you might have inherited, I think it's really important to keep those things and mix them with the modern stuff, and then everything kind of tells a story.
Definitely. Oh, I love that. That's a really lovely answer, actually. Something for everybody to think about as well. On the screen, you can see the price of the fabric. This is for a half metre, £21.99, 158387. Of course, everything's brand new today. The first time we've seen Sian here. Sian Ellen, these... I've just got it, I know I'm harping on about it, but the quality, absolutely incredible quality. Let's just go through those colours again. We have got different options if you want to buy more fabric. The first one we're looking at is the Flora Gold Blush. Isn't that beautiful? And then, oh, I love this with the blue in there. We've got the Ellen Gold Oxford Blue for you there. Stunning, isn't it? Really lovely bold pattern. Then we've got the Nazca Gold, very fresh. And that allows you to bring those other colours in as well. If you just don't want the yellow, you can, of course, bring in the other accents as well. Then we've got the Desert Fleur Multi. This is the cushion that's behind me, actually. When you see it made into a cushion, it's absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got the Ellen Oxford Gold, Blue Blush. Stunning again. And then the Flora Cobalt Blue there. Now, with the half metres, we've got details, as I say, on the screen, 158387. If you want more than half a metre, we've got a different item number. You've got a bigger saving, because if you're going for any two, and remember, you can go for more than multiples here. So if it's one multiple of two, you just add that item in once. If you want 4 half metres, then you put multiples of 2 in there. 440057, in whichever combination you want. If you are going for something that's the same design, that will be cut in a continuous length for you as well. Then we have the pick and mix of any 3 half metres. So if you are thinking, yes, do you know, I want a lampshade kit, and then I want to make some cushions as well, or I want to bring the fabric into other accessories just to sort of tie everything together, then of course you can go for the option of a pick and mix of any 3. And there they are, all on the website again. Now, we will get back over to Sian, because we want to see the next stage of the lampshade. So I noticed you were cutting away at the edge there, Sian. So where are we up to?
So I've cut all of the seams all of the edging so that the fabric is really nice and straight all the way around the edge.
Lovely.
And actually, I've left this seam here, so I drew this 1 centimetre seam, and I've left that bit there, and I've cut around that there. And the next stage is to pull these edges off. So actually, you'll see I've done one here already. So we've got these bits that can snap back.
So you literally fold those back. Do you hear a bit of a click? Do you hear the snap as it goes?
You do sometimes, yeah, particularly when we pull it off. So if we give it a go, so it just clicks just then when you pull it off, but it doesn't when you fold it over.
Okay.
So you just really simply, but quite carefully, pull it off, because you want to avoid from fraying the fabric. Don't worry too much if you do fray it. It's not a problem. You can just cut that fraying off. But it's just a little bit more of a faff.
It's just a case of being careful again, taking your time. Lovely. I think with the way things have gone, Sian, this year as well, and a lot of people have been at home, I do know for a fact, because I've found it very difficult to get hold of some of the paint I've needed. Home decor has been such a big thing.
Yeah.
People have been changing their homes, you know, they've wanted to do more for themselves as well. And I think that is now really branching out. Even people that in the past have thought, well, I can't sew, I haven't got a sewing machine, so I can't do cushions, I can't do that sort of thing. There are ways, and you're showing us now here with the lampshade, that you can create something yourself beautifully with that professional look to allow you to sort of build on your own home. And it does give you a lovely feeling, doesn't it, when you've achieved that yourself?
Oh, I think so, definitely. I think the sense that you get from making something yourself, like that sense of satisfaction, is like nothing else.
Yeah.
And I think that anybody that crafts or makes anything kind of gets that sense of satisfaction.
Definitely.
I think it's a really nice way to spend your spare time. So
it certainly is. Oh.
So the next stage is, so we've got this seam here, so we're going to fold over this seam to create that really lovely neat edge.
Okay.
So I'm going to take our sticky tape and you'll notice the sticky tape is just under 1 centimetre actually in width, so it's kind of should fit perfectly down the length of that seam. So you want to stick that on and then just peel the backing off to reveal the sticky. So sometimes it can be a little bit...
This is it's the same with the paper crafting, you know, Sian. The hardest thing in demonstrating is getting the back off the glue
backing
tape.
off, I know.
And then sometimes it sticks to you with the static as well, and you're trying to shake off the red backing from it. You've got that edge to work against, though, so you are going to get that really neat edge, aren't you? Because you've got the PVC inside. So it gives you something, you can feel that, and you can get that crisp edge.
Exactly. Yeah, so and that's a really good point. You do want to make sure that you do pull it over and you do get that really lovely crisp edge.
Lovely, very neat.
So that's created our seam for us now.
Beautiful.
And then the next thing we want to do, because we want this to stick at the end once we've rolled it, so we're going to put another bit of sticky tape on top.
Okay.
So just be mindful that you keep within that edge as well, because you don't want it to be visible once it's rolled.
Not. Just as you're cutting that tape, Sian, we've had a question in actually. This has come from Carol. And it's a good question actually. It's something we haven't mentioned. Now, we're selling the fabric in 1/2 metre lengths, but we haven't mentioned the width. What is the width of the fabric?
Oh, it's 140 centimetres. That is a very good
wonderful.
question. Yes.
Wonderful. Yes, well done, Carol, because we didn't ask that. We didn't mention it, did we? So, yes, 140 centimetres.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, seeing as Carol's asked that question as well, it's made me think of something else. If we wanted to make things like placemats and table runners, this fabric would work for all those things as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen around the studio, we've seen the 1/2 metres, we've seen the lampshades, we've seen the cushions. We mentioned other things, but it really does lend itself to a whole array of different home accessory pieces, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really versatile fabric. So it's a really lovely weight. So it's weighty enough that you could use it for upholstery, and it's kind of light enough that you can use it for those kind of lighter crafting projects as well. So you can use it for dining chair upholstery, you could use it for making tote bags and shopping bags, you could upholster a footstool, you can make cushions from it, and then of course lampshades. So it's a really lovely, versatile fabric.
Do you know, I'm thinking as well, many of us who have craft rooms, we go to a certain store to get our craft storage. You know the ones I mean, don't you, with the cubes and things? These fabrics would go so perfectly. I'm just thinking if you've made yourself perhaps a nice light shade for in your craft room, if you've got a dedicated room or a sewing room, and then on the shelving, if you made accessory boxes out of the fabric, you know, those that you can fold down, but you can pop all your threads and your bits and pieces in, all your crafty bits. These would look absolutely stunning on your shelving.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Really beautiful.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next stage of the lampshade making is that we need to cover our rings in sticky tape.
Okay.
So the reason that we need to do that is because this is, again, going to form the kind of structure of the lampshade, and so we need to get it sticky to make sure it sticks to our PVC.
Wonderful.
So, taking your double-sided tape again, you want to apply it to the lampshade rings. So you want to apply it right on the centre point. So you get the tape right on the centre there, and you go all the way around the circumference of the ring.
Okay, so that looks quite easy to do as well, because obviously you've got the tape on a roll. You've got a nice firm structure to work with. Just again, take your time and keep that central.
Yeah, definitely. And it's central. If you go a little bit wrong, you can peel it back really easily.
Lovely.
And then when you get to the other end where it joins, you can just cut it off.
So right the way around, and then just cut where you started, basically.
Just cut where you started.
No need to overlap.
And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of fold the tape tight around the ring. So right on the top and the bottom, you just squeeze it around the ring. And that's just to ensure that we get as much sticky going all the way around the ring as possible.
So is it worth just going around a couple of times then, Shan, just to make sure you've got that well and truly stuck down?
Yeah, you can do it. Should do it on the first time, as if you kind of do it in a sort of firm way.
And do we do the same with the second ring as well?
We do, yes.
While you're doing that one, Shan, if we're just going to let everybody, well, remind everybody about Flexi actually, because if you are popping lots into your basket and opening up that basket of over £60, then of course you can split the cost. We've got Leonie to tell us more about it.
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi order? When you place an item on Flexi Buy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi order, which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your Flexi Buy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping basket, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly Flexi Buy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Oh, thank you very much, Leonie. Now, today's Sunday, isn't it? Oh, it is Sunday, isn't it? That means at 8 o'clock this morning, we got some new 7-day savers, didn't we? Let's have a look at some. Let's show you what we've got on offer. Oh, we've got Love Sewing magazine. That goes well with this hour, doesn't it? £14.97. You're going to get issues 82, 84 and 85. An £11 saving there, 074673. These are always well worth popping into your basket. Oh, I like that pattern there as well. These have been busy already, only launched at 8 o'clock this morning. You do get all three. I just want to reiterate that. It's not a choice. You do get them all. Oh, I need to look at that. They've got some nice patterns for some clothing there. Now, we've got a desk light. Now, this is something that you might be interested in as well, because, of course, being a desk light, if you are crafting or, you know, whether you're making a lampshade up, as Shani's doing now, and you want that little bit of extra light or the magnifier's there as well for you, you can go for this one. £8 saving, £21.99, item number 005459. That's a good buy as well, isn't it? And then we've got, oh, something else. Do you know, I'm seeing these for the first time. I get excited about the 7-day savers, That's when they launch on a Sunday. There we've got, oh, look at this, the Hobby Gift wool bucket bag. So that means it's a big bag then. You've got your Eat, Sleep, Craft, Repeat project. That's your pouch there. £8 again, that's the saving here, £15.99. Lovely items here, 862243. You could decorate that further if you wanted to as well. Do check them all out on the website. Of course, we have got more than the 3 we've just shown you there. They are all available now, while stocks last, of course, or until next Sunday when they all change again. Right, OK, now in front of me I have got one of the unboxed lampshade kits again, so I'm just going to go through everything that you get and before we go back to Shannon and see the next stage of the demonstration. So of course you have got those different options of fabric. I just want to reassure everybody that these are pre-cut, so if you are someone that hasn't made anything for home before, you don't have to worry about getting the pattern in the centre. It's all been thought out for you, so you're not going to find that you're going to get sort of an odd or abstract sort of way that these patterns fall on your finished piece, because everything has been cut precisely for you. It's cut so it's the right size. You only need to trim that one edge off once you've put the PVC on there, which of course you do get your PVC included. That's the structure of the lampshade. You're going to get all of the bits and pieces that you need apart from the fabric and the PVC, so including the tool there, which is very important. We're going to see Sean with that in a little while. Of course, you've got the fixings for the lampshade as well. You've got that very high tack tape. Importantly, you've got the rings. It wouldn't be a lampshade without these. And of course, you can hang these or use them with the base as well. So obviously, the one without the fixture there is going to go at the bottom, and then or depends which way you go around, isn't it? Wherever your fixing is, this is the one that you're going to use there, so you need to watch out for that. Of course, full instructions as well. The only thing you want to do is choose which design you want to go for, because we have got those beautiful options for you. Now, we've also got a pick and mix for you, so if you do want to, maybe you want one to hang and one to go on a base, you can do that. Maybe you want them to look the same, so you can choose two the same. Maybe you want one of one design and one of another. I don't know, because I think my favourite pattern or the design is this one here. Maybe I would want to go for the gold and for the blue as well, because they still correspond. You've still got those same colours, but I've got a difference there to look at. Item number on the screen there, 636360. 2 payments of £39.99. That is your pick and mix of any two. Everything available, and of course all the details on the website for everything we've got on offer. Right, Shan, back to you. So we've got the tape stuck around the ring there. Where do we go from there?
Okay, so the next thing we want to do is peel that tape off.
Okay.
So I've already done it actually on this ring, so just be wary, it is really, really sticky actually once you've peeled the tape off. So we'll just find the end, if I can find it.
You've done such a good job of matching it up. You can't see the end.
It's hidden. Okay, there it is. So just make sure you peel that cover off and not the sticky underneath.
Lovely. As we say, always the trickiest part of the demonstration is getting the backing off the tape. We're all the same when it comes to papercraft or softcraft.
There you go.
There it is.
So we pull that off all the way around. And then we've got our 2 sticky rings. So this one's stuck to my pair of scissors. There you go. So now we're going to apply these sticky rings to the PVC. So we need to think about, do you want it to be a table fitting or do you want it to be a ceiling fitting?
Yes, this is important because now it will matter which way the fabric goes.
Indeed, yes. So if we flip the fabric over, it doesn't matter if your design is a non-directional design, but this is a directional design, so it's obviously vertical. And I want it to be a table fitting actually, so I need the flowers to be sitting vertically.
Lovely.
So that means I need to put the lamp fitting ring on the base because it's going to be a table fitting. And then just be really careful and mindful about putting that fitting, facing that fitting inwards, because I have made lampshades before where I've accidentally put it on the outside, and of course you end up with a fitting sticking out, which you really, really don't want.
So if you look at that in a sense as like the point of a hat maybe, so it's points going inwards to the lamp.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. And another thing to note is to make sure that you start at the other end of the seam, because that seam is going to be being stuck on, and we won't be able to do that if we start at that
Right,
end.
I understand. Yeah, I can see that.
So we just place our rings are right on the edges of the PVC. So this is like probably the most fiddly part, especially if you're using your left hand and you're not left-handed. It's going to be a bit tricky.
Now, if you've got someone with you, Sian, would it be a good idea to get some help with this, or is it better to do it yourself?
Yeah, definitely 2 hands would help this process for sure, because you're holding both rings at the same time. And the reason that you want to hold both rings is if you only do one, then it will sort of flop over.
Right,
so you need to balance
yeah.
it with the 2.
Yeah.
But because this sticky tape will come off, and I did that a little bit out of line, I'm going to stick that back on.
So we're literally right against the edge of the structure of the lampshade there,
Exactly.
the PVC.
Yeah, so it's really important to not go over that edge, because this bit of excess fabric is going to be the rolled seam, so we need to make sure we don't eat into that.
Lovely.
And then just double check that you are happy. Once you've got them in place, actually, it's easier to shift them around. So in a way, don't worry about getting it on perfectly the first time around. Just get it on, because then it's easier to shift.
Okay, and because you've got circles there, you haven't got to worry about any corners or anything
No.
like that to match up. It is just a case of you can start anywhere on those rings as long as you've got them the right way up.
Exactly. So then once we're happy with that, we're going to start rolling the rings. So you want to make sure that you're staying in line with that PVC.
Okay.
So you're not going over the edges at all. And if you do, you can just pull back like that and go again. So it's really easy if you do make a mistake.
So once again, it's about taking your time, just keeping an eye on things, making sure you get that as close to that edge as possible and keeping it even. So as I'm watching you there, Sian, I'm thinking, in a way, it might be easier just doing it on your own, because if you've got somebody trying to help, especially at this stage, somebody else is trying to roll a little bit faster than you, then it might go off. So I think once you get going, as long as you're taking your time, it's nice and easy just to do it by yourself.
Definitely, and I think it's all about once you get going, and once it starts taking shape, it gets much easier to roll. And so what I'm going to do now is flip it around, because I can't really see because I've rolled so far. So I'm going to flip it around so that I can see from the other side.
Okay.
And just make
we can
sure
see
that
how neat that is, though.
Make sure I am staying in line there.
Now, just to give you a time check, Sian, we've got just under 5 minutes, would you believe?
Amazing.
I did tell you this hour would go quickly, didn't I? That is coming together beautifully.
So, once we get to the end, we just want to pull that bit of sticky off there.
Okay, yeah.
That bit that we previously stuck.
Now, we've got a spectator in the studio, keeping a distance, of course. It's the wonderful Lou Withers, who's coming up after this hour. I saw Lou having a good look at these, Ellen. I thought, I bet these are Lou's cup of tea. Yeah, she's definitely she's saying.
Love the colour.
Beautiful. She's liking the one we're seeing right now on screen.
So we've got that really lovely seamed edge now, and that's because we folded it to begin with, so it's got that really, really lovely finish.
Very neat indeed, very professional.
And then the next thing we want to do is fold this fabric over. So this is the bit that's kind of going to finish the whole lampshade for us.
Okay.
So you fold over the fabric on each ring and push it over as firmly as you can.
There we are. Just to show folding that over, because we are getting close to the end of the show, Sian, you just keep going, we are watching you. But just to let everybody know, don't forget we've got different options for the fabric. 1/2 metre, metre, 1.5 metres. You don't have to get all the same. You can buy all the same and get a continuous length. The more you buy, the more you're saving. Of course, I do go for the appropriate pick and mix. We're just quickly going through those different designs so you can see them all on screen now as well. The Flora Gold blush is there, the Gold Oxford Blue, we've got the Nazca Gold for you there. Isn't that stunning? The Desert Fleur Multi, that's the cushion that's behind me on the chair. We've got Ellen Oxford Blue blush there as well. And finally, we've got the Flora Cobalt. Aren't they beautiful? I'm just thinking these would make stunning tote bags as well, because the quality of their fabric, Ellen, you know, you've got lots of strength in the fabric, as long as you do some good stitching. If you've got bags you want to make, totes and things that you're putting weighty things in as well. We've talked about upholstery, we've talked about all those home decor projects. I'm thinking as well, do you know, even a bit of fabric in a frame to tie your decor in as well. Perhaps you've got a lampshade hanging there, maybe you want to cover the seats of your dining room chairs, maybe making placemats to go on the table. You know, you can tie all those colours together so beautifully.
Definitely. It's perfect for tableware, actually. It's really, really good for tablecloths and napkins and that kind of thing as well.
It would make a very posh dinner party. Oh, you really would impress your friends then, wouldn't you? If you've just stitched all your placemats and you've got napkins, you've got the lamp on. Look at that beautiful glow from the lamp as well, with the lights dim there. You can see how stunning that looks. I mean, every bit of detail is seen with the light there. But the colour is such a warm, beautiful colour. And of course, that colour runs through all the different designs as well. It depends whether you want more of the lighter background, whether you want more of the blue background, or you do love those yellows. Stunning, love it. Right, Sian, how are you getting on? That looks so neat.
So yeah, so we folded it over all the way around, and this ring with the light fitting has obviously got these spokes. So we just snip the fabric vertically, so that when you fold it over, it can fold either side of that.
Okay, so you don't need to even snip into the fabric at all?
You snip into it.
Oh, you snip into it to get past the little
so you just snip into it to make room for those spokes, and then you're able to fold.
But it's just held down with the tape. That's going to hold beautifully.
Yes.
And with the tool, Sian, how do we use the tool? Because we've only got just over a minute left.
So we've got this serrated edge here, and we use that serrated edge to push the fabric around the ring.
Okay, I don't know if we come from the top, if you were able to just put your head back a little bit. That's it, so we can see where you're going.
Yeah.
That's it, so we can just see where you're using that.
Yeah.
It is difficult, Sian, I know, because you can't see what you're doing without, but just so we have an idea of where the tool is being used.
Okay.
There we go. Wonderful. Oh, and it is genuinely such a professional finish.
Yeah, so you kind of go all the way around the edge of that.
Lovely. Of course, full instructions are included in the kit. I believe there's some help and support out there as well. So do read the instructions, look for the help and support if you need it, but I'm sure you won't do. Sian, thank you so, so much. What a wonderful first hour. I absolutely love the fabrics you've brought for us today. And please check those baskets out. Make sure you're buying the fabric that you need. I'm being counted out. I could do another hour of this. I love it. Much more coming up, though. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes, coming up next, Lou's in the studio. She's here with Studio Light. It's her 41st birthday celebrations continuing. Then we're back with Daisy Chain Designs. And then we've got, of course, the one-day special. And it's Ecoline with Lou Sims.
Hi, I'm Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp Limited. We're well known in the industry for designing and manufacturing top quality, award-winning craft products. As with all craft projects, you need a good starting place, a great stamp, a top quality stencil, and in recent times we've developed the groovy parchment art system so that your line art is perfect on parchment. Another exciting development to come from the marriage between Parchment and our stamp company is the fabulous designer papers and now the designer parchment. There is nothing like it. Each groovy plate is precision etched, and by simply getting in the groove with a stylus, you can easily transfer great designs onto parchment. Groovy is a modular system. The plates